This is Atomic Shinobi, and today I'm going to narrate second part of What If Naruto Became the Shinigami Spirit Walking Agent. If you enjoy this video, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Not wasting no more time, let's start the story.
Naruto questioned, Oh hey boss, what are you doing here? The Shinigami declared, I'm here to support my number one surviving employee. Naruto questioned, aren't I your only surviving employee? The Shinigami answered, yeah, in this world, but that's just a small detail. Who are you and what are you doing here? We are kind of in an important meeting right now, said Choza. The Shinigami retorted, I am the Shinigami and I am here for the kid. One of the civilian participants said, yes, Kami. Sama has sent his agent to rid us of the demon brat and send it to hell. Wow, you have to deal with this crap all your life and yet you haven't snapped, it is a miracle. Anyway, no, I am not here to take his soul. Like I said, I am here to help him because by having him alive means there's less paperwork for me to deal with. The Shinigami replied. Hey, I know that we here to talk about my Kekkei Genkai, but it's okay to talk about it with the civilian council here and let them know about you, Shinigami. Most of them hate me because of Kurama and less likely to help me out. What if my Kekkei Genkai is something valuable, like it has the ability to steal Kekkei Genkai? But the villagers' hate for me caused them to tell other villages in order to get me kidnapped. And what if every village out there want to kidnap me in order to breed that Kekkei Genkai for their village, which caused them to fight over me, and because of that it started the 4th Shinobi World War, and man, that was really cynical view on thing. I really feel sorry for anyone who think that way, Naruto replied. In Kumogakure, somewhere Omoi let out a sneeze. Someone is talking about me. What if they are planning to kidnap me? Then, when they get me they will torture me for information and I couldn't handle it and told them all the secret of Kumo, which caused the downfall of Kumogakure, then I be forever known as the person who brought down Kumo, Omoi stated. Karui slapped him on the head and said, shut up Omoi, you baka. The statement, my teammates are so not cool, was made by Samui. Returning to the meeting. Yes, you were very pessimistic there, but as for involving the civilian council, it was your parents and sensei idea, not mine, because they are tired of the way you were treated and want both side of the council and village to know that they are pissed, said the Shinigami. So are you telling me that they are going to come here? Replied Naruto. As Kushina, Nanashi, Hikari, and all of the previous Hokages materialized directly in front of them, the Shinigami remarked, no, they're already here. The words, I ask you to do one thing and one thing only yet you choose to ignore it, were released by Minato, who was intent on killing. Naruto remarked, a level 89 killing intent is not bad. I can go higher anyway, Blondie, you might want to lower it or you going to kill them with a heart attack, Kurama stated. The Lord of Hell said, hopefully there will be some blood, as he appeared beside Naruto. Naruto questioned him, Lord of Hell, what the hells are you doing here? We know each other good enough for you to call me by my name Beelzebub and not by my title, said the Lord of Hell. How about Beel? Inquired Naruto. That work and I here for the show, can't wait to see them wet themselves, said Beel. One of the stupid council members said, but we make sure that the demon brat is punished for what it did. He is not a demon, you fool. I ask you all to treat him as a hero for saving the village by holding back the Kyuubi, but most of you disregard it. He was beat up constantly, said Minato. Which increase my pain tolerance and toughen my body over time, said Naruto. Minato goes on, there has been an attempt on his life. Naruto went on, make me more conscious of my surroundings. The food he was given was either poisoned or rotten, Minato said. I didn't appreciate the rotten foods, but the poison ones that I end up eating cause me to develop immunity for them now, said Naruto. Shop refused to sell him anything or they overcharge him, said Minato. Naruto remarked, well, that was actually kind of mean and hurtful. Dobi, how the hell can you be so casual about the way you were treated? Asked Sasuke. Because dwelling on the pain and anger doesn't change anything nor does it helps, said Naruto. Minato shocked everyone by saying, not only did all of you make an innocent child suffer for nothing, but my only son. With a face palm, Naruto remarked, great work, Baka. All of Ojiazen's hard work to keep your enemy away just went out of the window. The first foolish council member exclaimed, what, we would never do something like that and don't speak to the Yondaime. Sama like that demon brat. The second foolish council member stated, not only would we treat him with kindness and respect, but with great honor. Yeah, by the way, who is your son anyway, said the third foolish council member. Okay, I may have spoken too soon. Man, there are a lot of idiot here, did someone plant them here in order to control the village? Wait, Shin-san, said Naruto. Hi Naruto. Taiko, Shin, a former member of Root, appears beside Naruto. Hey Shin. How are you and Sai doing, and can you get a list of people that Danzo has key interest in? Asked Naruto. Me and Sai are doing okay. As for the list, I'm on my way, said Shin. My son is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the Jinchuriki of Kurama the Nine-Tailed Fox, you idiots, said Minato. As Minato appeared to be about to kill him, the first foolish council member said, there is no way that the demon brat is your son Yondaime Sama. Naruto sighed, you can't hit him, Dad. See, no demon would defend anyone that insulted him, said Minato. No, I mean that since you are a ghost you can't physically hit him, but you can still do ninjutsu, so try not to destroy this place, said Naruto. Naruto is the son of Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze and is the only known member of the Uzumaki clan in Konoha. I have his birth certificate to prove it, said the Thrid. In an attempt to gain political power from Naruto, the second foolish council member said, if he is indeed the son of the fourth and last of his clan, then we can force him in the CRA. No, you can't. If I choose not to do it, you can't make me, and the only one who have the power was the Hokage, but I doubt Oji-san would force me to do something I don't want. Also, the daimyo made a decree that you can meddle in my personal life. Naruto replied by taking out the decree. Son, how did you get the daimyo to make such a decree? Asked Minato. I taught some of his chefs and give him some of my famous dessert recipe that he likes, and they say political is hard, said Naruto. Anyways, I am disappointed in what most of you have done and make me question if I should have saved this village at all. From now I want you all to stop disgracing the village and stop mistreating my son, because right now I lost all faith in this village, Minato stated, while the majority of those present felt shame and guilt. Yeah, if any of you continue to hurt my little baby, I will come back from the afterlife and remind you why I am known as the Red Death Dabbeo, said Kushina. Really, Mom, you have to call me your little baby in front of everyone. How can I be a kick-ass ninja if you do that? Said Naruto. My brother and I also wish for you all to stop mistreating Naruto, for he is not only our student but we also see him as part of our family, said Hishirama. Aren't my clan a distant relatives of both Hashi, Ojiazans and Tobi, Ojiazan's clan, so aren't we already family? Said Naruto. Well, I suppose that's accurate, Tobirama remarked. Now if we done with that, can we get back to what we here for? Not that I don't mind the short vacation here, said the Shinigami. You are as lazy as always, boss, but yeah, let's get started, and I guess the civilian council can stay for it if they want. I don't really care right now, Naruto murmured. So one of the Kekkei Genkai that I have is called Kitsune no Iyashi, Fox Healing. That I got from Kurama, which give me an amazing healing ability that range from a slightly increased regeneration to resistance to most poison once someone cut off my finger and it grew back the next day. As for my second Kekkei Genkai, it is called the Shinigami no Okuramono, Gift of the Death God. That I got from the Shinigami. It allow me to connect with a targeted soul and manipulation that soul to a point where I can affect the mind, body and spirit of that target. Also, it allow me to communicate, see and sense the spirits around me as a side effect of having that Kekkei Genkai, plus upgrade I got when I took control of Kurama's chakra and a new seal was placed, which created an image that reflect my emotional state that I'm in every time I'm experiencing an extreme level of emotion. Naruto continued. What do you mean that you can affect the mind, body and spirit of a person? Uzumaki.san. Hiyashi responded. I will show you. Hey Arrow. Kakashi. Sensei, come over here so I can demonstrate, replied Naruto. Why me? Inquired Kakashi. Because I am a ninja and a ninja is a master of humiliating his sensei, and because I am not done pay you back for what you did to my clone, replied Naruto. Kakashi remarked, all right, but after this we are even. In order for the 4 styles of jutsu that are developed from the Shinigami no Okuramono, Gift of the Death God, to work, Naruto said, I need to mark my target with a receiver first. Naruto then threw a chakra dagger at Kakashi, which caused a seal to appear when it struck him. I created these daggers for the sole purpose of acting as a receiver so it won't hurt them unless I want them to. Now the first style is Nis no Genjutsu, False Reality. An example of this style is Nis no Genjutsu. Tobui no Budo no Jutsu, False Reality. Boot to the head technique, Naruto stated when he performed the jutsu at the head with his boot. Kakashi grumbled, I'm going to suffer brain damage if you continue to harm me. Arrow. Seishin has been doing this to me for years and I turn out fine. As you can see, it created an illusion like Genjutsu, but unlike it, it makes the damage real because Nis no Genjutsu, False Reality, alter the mind's perception of reality. Next style is Fu no Noroi, Curse Vessel. An example of it is Fu no Noroi. Yada Baka, Curse Vessel. Drunken idiot, Naruto said, causing Kakashi to sway in. Why father, sensei, Kushina, Obito, Rin, why did you leave me? I so lonely, but hey everyone, I became a sensei for a genin team. Naruto is a prankster like Obito, while Sasuke is arrogant Teme like I was and Sakura is an annoying fan. Girl like Rin, but they are good kids, so please watch over them. Kakashi wept. Obito beat some sense into Kakashi by saying, of course, but stop acting all emo and move on with your damn life, Baka. Seriously, you need to find a girlfriend and me and Naruto are going to help you since you too much emo Baka to do it. Wow, Kakashi is a sad drunk who knew, anyway, as you see Fu no Noroi, curse vessel. Affect the state of the body, making the person drunk as a fool, tired to the point of collapsing, weak that they can be beaten by an infant, strong beyond their limit, or put them at death door. The third style is Seishin o Kawasu Mano, Spirit Breaker. An example of this is Seishin o Kawasu Mano. For a dansu, Spirit Breaker. Hula dance, Naruto said, causing Kakashi to hula. While still hula dancing, Kakashi asked, why'd I feel like I have a hangover and thought I saw Obito? You did, Baka, and it is fun seeing you act this way, said Obito. Obito, but how? Inquired Kakashi. Obito said, I'll tell you later. Seishin o Kawasu Mano, Spirit Breaker, affects the very soul of a person, making feel things that lie deep within them. I can make them feel everything from hopeless to pure bliss, or in this case the urge to hula dance. The last style is Denketsu no Tamashi, Unity Soul, and an example of this is Denketsu no Tamashi. Chibi Modo, Unity Soul. Chibi Mode. Naruto said in order to transform Kakashi into a. She became enraged and chased after Chibi Kakashi after he said, he, Pinky is flat as a board and wear teddy bear underwear. Even as a kid he is a pervert. Anyways, Denketsu no Tamashi, Unity Soul. Combine all three of the style or a mix of two of the three. Any question? Replied Naruto. Yes, what is the relationship between you and the Shinigami, a dead Uchiha, 3 previous Hokages, and I think you call him the Lord of Hell, and what are they doing here? Inoichi responded. Well, the Shinigami is my boss who I work for part-time, helping him help spirits cross over to the other side and hunt down immortal that use forbidden art to become immortal. Opshio Uchiha is my supervisor and trainer in the whole death business. As for the Hokages, one of them is my dad, as you know, the other two are as far as I know distant relative who has been my sensei for the past years. And Beal, you can call him my pranking buddy, replied Naruto. Shikaku inquired, how were you able to perform Mokatan Uzumaki-san? Firstly, called me Naruto. Uzumaki-san makes it sound like I am in trouble. Secondly, to answer your question, my familiar Tree-kun, here is the reason. He is a forest spirit that not only has the Mokatan ability but can also manipulation plant life of all kind. Because of my Shinigami no Okuramono, gift of the death god, Keke Genkai and Tree-kun becoming my familiar, we forged some kind of ancient and sacred bond so I can borrow his power from time to time, as well as my other familiar Cloud who have the power over air and wind, replied Naruto. So there are more of them in this world, so if that is true, can you get more of them to also lend you their power? Hiyashi inquired. Yes, they exist alongside us in this world, unseen and unknown, unless you have abilities like mine or created a medium like I did for Tree-kun and Cloud-kun in the form of dolls which allow them to interact in this plane of existence. As for getting more of them to work for me, it is true that I can make 100 or more of these medium to allow them to interact in this world, but as for them working for me or this village for that matter, I can't said that because I do not have power over them. Tree-kun and Cloud-kun work for me because they choose it out of their own free will, and I can't force them to do anything they don't want to do. If I break the scared oath between familiar and master or mistreated them, not only can they stop being my familiar and punish me for such action, but the Shinigami can take away my Keke Genkai. For that matter, in order for my descendant to have the Shinigami no Okuramono, gift of the death god, the Shinigami must approve it and they must make the same deal with him as I did. So to breed me for that ability is mostly out the window, Naruto said. Hell, if anyone end up making the kid into a breeding machine in order to get that power, not only will I rip the Shinigami no Okuramono, gift of the death god, Keke Genkai from any offspring that are born, but the Kitsune no Iyashi, fox healing, Keke Genkai too, and I have the ability to back it up. The power that I give out is sacred and I will judge who have the right to them or not, said the Shinigami. Didn't I get the Shinigami no Okuramono, gift of the death god, from you by accidents? Asked Naruto. Yes, but it doesn't make it less of a blessing from me if it was purposely given to you or not. I not only judge that are you worthy of having it, but the way you threat the spirits you meet, I can't think of anyone better than you to have it, the Shinigami replied. What about the Uchiha? Sama, inquired a foolish counselist. No offense, chicken. But with your hunger for power, which I hope the kid can knock some sense in you like he doing so far in your destructive ambition, Not only would I see you mistreating the spirits but also not willing to help them like I required the kid to do, said the Shinigami. With a foolish council member nodding in agreement, Sakura remarked, what Sasuke-kun is the kindest soul there is and that power would be worthy of him. 1. I wish you guys stop calling me chicken. But, and 2. Dobie is right Sakura, you are really delusional because I treat all of my fan girl like you less than thrash to get you to leave me alone but you never do. As for help other it is something that I will not go out my way to do so that power is something I might want but the requirement for it is not something I can't fulfill but the Dobie can, said Sasuke. Wow Teme admitted that there's something I can do that he can't, said Naruto. Sasuke said, shut up, Dobie, and keep your promise. Hi after this meeting you can meet your parent, so anything else you guys want to ask me, said Naruto. If you don't mind I want to ask from my predecessor, Naruto said you 3 teach him along with other but what I want to know is what he knows so I can get an idea what kind ninja he is and it will help his new sensei to know what he can teach him, the third replied. Well I go first I taught him the basic of being a ninja that the academy for the most part wasn't willing to teach him until Ruka came along. Some fuinjutsu that those who work for the Shinigami are required to know and thing that required to fulfill his job as agent of the Shinigami, said Obito. As everyone took responsibility, Nanashi claimed, I taught him his Kekkei Genkai based jutsu since I am the only one that knows any along with the wonder of peeking. I keep this idiot from corrupting Naruto-kun and anything I know from my Suiden jutsu to how to live on his own. I may be a princess but that does not mean I can't fend for myself or that I am not kick-ass, Hikari said as the others wept. Naruto remarked, you two make a unique couple. And someday you will find that someone special and become a unique couple yourself, maybe that certain blue-hair brunette girl with lavender pearl eyes that you like to make blush, said Hikari. As people started to perspire once more, Naruto remarked, I don't know who you're talking about, but it sounds like fun to do such a thing to the person you're talking about and mostly like do if I do find such a person. All of the spirits in the room, including the Thrid, Hiyashi, and others who are aware of Hinata's crush, said, what he is doing sounds cute and whatever, but I kind of feel sorry for Hinata. As for me I taught him our clan history, clan jutsu and clan fuinjutsu for he is my son therefore the legacy of my clan, said Kushina. I taught him all my jutsu which include a lot Suiden jutsu, Tobirama stated. I taught him all my jutsu too mainly Mokuton that he can use when he is with Tree.kun, Hashirama stated. As my son and my legacy I taught him all my jutsu, said Minato. Wait you mean he knows about the Rasengan and Hiraishin no jutsu, flying thunder god technique, replied the third. Know them, he can do them also he found a way to complete the Rasengan but I told him not to use them until he at least a Chunin or higher, don't want my enemy after him yet, said Minato. It is not competed until I find a way to make it a distance attacks the backlash from using it close range is dangerous, said Naruto. An ignorant council member said, those jutsu are too good for the demon brat and should be given to someone more worthy. With the intention of killing anyone who protests further, Minato yells, no one but my son shall know those jutsu because as my son it is his birthright to know them. How cans the council fall to such an unsightly stated, asked Minato. I can answer that from the report that Shin just given me, like Root Danzo has been pulling the string by letting a bunch of idiot be on the council in order to control the village from the shadow. What he does so far is bribe the member he has in his pocket to ensure certain law or pass, limiting how much the Hokage can help me so he can get me be his weapon eventually, stealing money for his plans and give the Hokage way more paperwork than it was supposed to be, Naruto stated as the majority of those present fled the cowardly coward was afraid. The Hokage questioned angrily, Naruto, do you have a list of these people that Danzo has in his pocket? Naruto handed him the paper and said, yes, here it is. The Hokage grinned evilly and said, oh Danzo, you and the people on this list are going to pay so much for so many paperwork. Naruto remarked, if he lives long enough to be punished. What are you talking about, Naruto? The Hokage inquired. Well, that list was found by a kunoichi next to Danzo's Icha book collection and photos of kunosei that make a pervert very happy and one of those photos is of that kunoichi that found that list, said Naruto. The Hokage remarked, so that means he broke rule number 4. Yep, rule number 4 never ever piss them off a woman, and him following rule number 3 won't do anything and rule 5 right now is not an option for him, said Naruto. Alongside Danzo one of the kunoichi said, get ready for hell, Teme. Weakly, Danzo said, I'm sorry. An additional kunoichi remarked, no amount of apology will save you. Ah! Danzo screamed as he was being beaten to a bloody pulp 10 times worse than the time a blonde Sannin beat a white-haired pervert Sannin for snooping on her. Returning to the council room Naruto remarked, Ouch sounded like Danzo in a lot of pain. The third pointed to roughly half of the civilian council members being dragged away and said, yes, but it won't stop me from punishing him along with those idiots. Well, hopeful some new blood will help the village, said Naruto. Well, since there are no more questions, the meeting end here, and I ask that all of you to keep Naruto lineage and the fact that he can perform his father jutsu a secret to protect him from Minato's enemy, or else you will be executed without a second thought. The Hokage replied. You know that won't stop them, just like it didn't stop most people from talking about me being a Jinchuriki, said Naruto. The third said, I know but can only hope. Wait there, one more thing I would like to know. The fox stated that he was under someone control and that person forces him to attack the village. I want to know who he is and what danger he posed to the village, replied Shikaku. Minato frowned and said, yeah, that Teme, because of him me and my wife are dead and never get to see our son grow up. Oh him, well I can't because that liar claimed to be someone he not, said Naruto. What do you mean? Inquired Inoichi. From the bit of memory that I was able to get from exploring my mindscape and what I got from Kurama, I was able to see who did it, but the name I obtained of who he is was not right. I can show you guys if you want, but I have to pull you guys into my mind with Nis no Genjutsu, false reality, said Naruto. The Hokage said, then please show us. Naruto made a clone and placed the seal around the room, saying, okay, let me set up seal to do it. The room transformed into Naruto's mindscape as everyone entered his head. Okay, here I go. Nis no Genjutsu. Yumi no Sakai, false reality. World of the Dreamer, Naruto said. Mindscape of Naruto. Dobi, I know there are a lot of empty space in your mind, but this is ridiculous, Sasuke replied. Will people stop make crack about my intelligence when they enter my mind, said Naruto. Inoichi remarked, this is incredible, I've never seen a mind like this. Think I plan to add more interesting thing to this place, said Naruto. Inoichi questioned, wait, you said you created all this? Naruto said, yeah, why is there a problem? No, it is rare for most people to have control over their mind like this, Inoichi replied. I have years to practices and having a neighbor in your mind to share with is a great motivator, Naruto said. All but Naruto and his spirits were frightened when Kurama said, and speaking of neighbor, I have graciously greet you all. Hi, I am the Kyuubi no Kitsune, fear me. Okay Kurama, thank for making everyone piss themselves. Now if you don't mind, I would like to get to the Tower of Memory and get this done, said Naruto. Kurama uttered, Shay fine, ruin my fun. The last time I have you have fun was helping me plan a prank which ended up with half the villagers after my head, said Naruto. Kurama said, but it was really fun. Naruto makes a bunch of Kurama's favorite foods appear while running around, saying, true, but it's getting late and I want to get this done soon, so chase some rabbit and chicken here. Kurama said, can do, while pursuing its prey. Kakashi questioned, Naruto, how in the hell are you not paralyzed with fear? I got used to it. Beside, he forces me to endure it for hours to train me to get us to killing intent, but when that sadistic Teme does it, he use his full level of killing intent. What he just used was not way less than 1% of his full killing intent. Now let's get going, Naruto said while leading them to a tower in the mental city. His memory was contained in thousands and thousands of scrolls. Naruto told everyone, okay, I'll go look for that memory. Wait here, and don't touch anything, especially the scrolls. They contain my memory and there are some memories that you don't want to see. Then he set off to find what he was looking for. There are some memories that you don't want to see, Sakura thought as she looked around the room. Yeah, he probably doesn't want us to see any of his embarrassing memories of himself. Let's find some of those embarrassing moments as payback for waking me up early and making fun of me and Sasuke-kun. Sakura opened it and remarked, 7th birthday huh, I bet we get to see him crying for not getting what he wants for his birthday. Sakura don't, was Sasuke's response to her actions, while the others turned to her upon hearing the disturbance. But when they saw a 7-year-old Naruto strolling down the street, it was too late and memories filled the room. A mob unexpectedly appeared as he was making his way home, yelled obscenities at him, and started beating the defenseless child until he broke bone and started to bleed, shocking everyone who witnessed the incident. Then, with a sigh of relief, some ninjas show up, thinking they will assist. To their horror, they draw a kunai and grin evilly before stabbing the child. But some Anbu intervened and stopped them. Naruto appeared and closed the scroll before anyone could see what happened next. Naruto sighed as he stored the memory, saying, next, you should listen to me when I told you not to do anything in here. After witnessing the memory alongside the majority of the villagers, Sakura asked tearfully, how can you not hate this village after all that happened? I do hate this village for the most part, but this place is where I was born and is the place where I live most of my life, and along with a few people I do care about, so I may hate this place, but I won't let that hate consume me and make me do something that I will regret or bring me down. Anyway, hear the memory of that night, Naruto said while opening the scroll. When he did, it displayed the scene where a man wearing a mask was holding Naruto hostage and demanding something from Minato. After that, Minato fights the man in the mask to retrieve Naruto. The action then shifts to the Kurama being taken from Kushina, followed by the masked man controlling the fox with the Sharingan and giving the order for it to attack Konoha. After that, it depicts Kurama being sealed in Naruto as Minato and Kushina bid their son farewell and the memory came to an end. Naruto then pushes them from his thoughts. While many people worry that Madara Uchiha is still alive and retreat to the village, Naruto stated, that was the man who was responsible for the Kyuubi attack. The last time he was seen, a spirit I met said he claimed to be Madara Uchiha, which would make sense because he was a Uchiha known to be able to control Kurama. However, the Shinigami told me that Madara Uchiha is really dead, so all we know now is that an unknown masked individual with the Sharingan has the power to control Kurama, the most power Buji, and is responsible for what happened. Who he really is and where he is something that none of us know right now. For all we know, he could be some random ninja with a grudge against Konoha that stole Sharingan, said Naruto. Thank you, Naruto, for the information you provided. It was helpful. The meeting is over, all of you are free to go, but kept in mind what I told you to do, the third replied. Okay, well, Arrow. Kakashi. Sensei. Teme, pack up you camping gear and meet me at Ichiraku, because we are camping out at certain place in the Forest of Death tonight so that you two can meet some spirits who want to see you, said Naruto. Kakashi questioned, the Forest of Death, how come we headed there? Because I set up a special place where spirits can be seen in there that only I know about. Don't worry, as long as you are with me you won't get lost or killed, replied Naruto. Sasuke inquired, so we are going to meet my family? Naruto replied, yeah, so let go. Sakura said, hey guys, can I come along? No, because there is no spirit that I meet that need to see you, so you have no reason to be there. Also, you didn't follow my instruction when we were in my mind, so as punishment you not allowed to come, and don't think of following us because without me with you there a chance you might die because the forest is really dangerous. We will meet you early tomorrow for morning training, so goodbye, Naruto replied and walked away. In order to spend more time with Sasuke-kun, Sakura said, Sensei, can you do something? I really want to come along. Sasuke said, no, you did this to yourself, and he also departed. Kakashi said, sorry, but he's right. You should leave Naruto alone for the time being and consider what you did, and he too went. Sakura said glumly, perhaps I shouldn't have done that. The Death Forest walking in the woods, Sasuke remarked, Dobi, I can't believe you can eat that much ramen without exploding. Naruto at his side remarked, ramen is like alcohol to Makona to me. According to Makona, sake is liquid happiness. And that was not even close to the record number of ramen he can eat, Iruka replied. No one can out-eat me when it comes to dango, said Anko. I know that Naruto asked me and Sasuke to come, but what are you two doing here? Replied Kakashi. Iruka answered, Naruto and I planned this camping trip days ago. I didn't have anything to do, so I decided to hang out with your guys, said Anko. Naruto remarked in front of a wall of trees, all right, we're here. Let me just open the door. Tree.kun do it. Tree said, hi, as he created an opening by splitting two trees. Naruto said, it through here, as he passed through the aperture. Man kid, you know all the good spot to hang out in the forest, said Anko. I agreed, a large hidden meadow with a crystal clean stream running through it, great place to camp, but with that cottage and garden it looked like someone lived here, Kakashi stated. Naruto placed his hand on a stone in the middle of the meadow and channeled chakra through it. The cottage and garden are mine. This is one of my secret bases that I come to stay when I want to get away from the village to allow myself to rest. Now let me activate the seal so we can meet our spirited friend, he said. After he finished, it and the stones placed around the meadow's edge formed a huge array with glowing markings. After that, a variety of spirits show up. Naruto began to say, okay Teme, I send Obito to get your parent, but was stopped by a large orange forest tiger. Everyone assumed an attack stance as soon as they saw the animal. It nice to see you Kato, but if you don't get off you going to crush me, said Naruto. Kato the tiger said, I apologize for that child, but I haven't seen you in a long time. As he put his kunai away, Kakashi inquired, so is he a friend of yours? Iruka went on to say, and it can speak, yes it he my friend, and yes he can speak, but I think Makona is translating it for us. Anyway, how are you Kato, replied Naruto. Fine, I'm just visiting when I saw you, so are those jutsu I taught you working out for you, Kato responded. Yeah, they great thank for taking you time to teach me, said Naruto. Kato said, no problem, see you later, and walked away. So you learn jutsu from an animal? Mind me asking what kind, asked Anko. Wind jutsu, and it seems you parent are here Teme, said Naruto. Sasuke. Makoto uttered, according to Fugaku, my son. Sasuke remarked, San. Ka-san, I miss you both so much. Sasuke my son, I miss you too, and I am sorry for what we did to you and your brother, said Fugaku. When Sasuke asked, what do you mean? Our clan was partly responsible to our own demise. It all starts after the Kyuubi attack. There was a lot of tension between our clan and Konoha Council, Fugaku stated. Especially the League of Unholy Miserable Old People known as Homura, Kaharu, and Danzo, said Naruto. They suspect someone from our clan to be responsible for the attack. Since the last time it happened it was due to Madara Uchiha, so we were watch heavy, causing the tension to grow over time. Due to my resentment and spite for the way that our clan was treated causes to plan a coup d'etat, Fugaku said. Which could have started the Fourth Shinobi World War, which Konoha could have lost due to still recovering from the Kyuubi attack, said Naruto. So to keep a war from break out, your brother Itachi chooses to side with Konoha and stop the coup by massacring our clansmen. Due to the foolish choice we made, you and your brother suffer for that. We are sorry, and no matter what both you decide to do, we are proud of you both. I telling you this because you have right to know, Fugaku stated. We both love you and your brother very much, and we apologize for not being able to be with you guys, Makoto stated. Sasuke, there one more you need to know before I leave you to catch up with your parents. Your cousin Shisui, after failing to stop the coup himself due to Danzo stealing his right eye as you saw during the meeting, said Naruto. Sasuke replied, yes, and I hope he gets what's coming to him. Yeah, I never liked that old fool when I was alive, Fugaku replied. Anyway, after that he entrusts Itachi to protect both the village and your clan name. He became a ghost that to this day is watching over your brother. I met him when he was watching over you one day, and he told me that after Itachi was ordered to massacre your clan and prior to doing the act, Itachi met that masked man who was responsible for Kyuubi attack. He poses as Madara to start a war, but Itachi made a deal to spare the village and you in exchange for the death of your clan, said Naruto. So the one who is responsible for the death of both our parent is this guy, right? Asked Sasuke. Yeah, and he the one I want to stop. Because of him me, you and a lot other suffer so much, that why I do every in my power to stop him so there won't be more like us, said Naruto. Well, you not going to do it alone. Because of him I lost a family too, so I going be there fighting next to you to make him pay, said Sasuke. Naruto departed Sasuke with his family, saying, I wouldn't have it any other way. Now I need to talk to Ero, Kakashi, Sensei and my family. Damn Naruto ni. Chan, you did tell me your mom was Kushina. She the most kick-ass kunoichi every, said Anko. Thank Anko ne.san anyway Ero. Kakashi. Sensei, you dad want to come here to see you, said Naruto. My dad? Inquired Kakashi. Yeah, my Ero.son, you grew up a lot when the last time I saw you alive. Anyway, I here to tell you how proud I am of you and sorry for what happened, said Tsukumo. Kakashi remarked, it's okay, I understand it now. Well, I leave you guys here so I can say goodbye to my teachers and parent, said Naruto. What? Asked Kakashi. We have no reason to stay here, so we moving on to the afterlife, so be a good teacher to my son and look after him or else we will haunt you, said Minato. Kakashi greeted his own father as, right sensei, and went to speak with him. Naruto, know that we are proud of you and that we love you, so take care of yourself, said Minato. Naruto. Chan, we wish that we could have been there for you when you were growing up, but never forget that we are always watching over, said Kushina. Make us proud and become the greatest Hokage ever, hopeful soon before Sarutobi die from too much paperwork, Hashirama stated. Yeah, paperwork is always a pain to deal with. Anyway, we place our trust in you and we know you will do great thing, Tobirama stated. Family is not only those who have the same blood as you but also those who love you with all their heart, so don't forget that we are your family and everyone here loves you, Naruto.kun, said Hikari. Nanashi said, go peek at the girl side of the hot spring. Naruto said, no, Nanashi went on. Go on a panty raid. The answer from Naruto was, never use the super panty and bra stealing technique that I taught you that can steal a women undergarment while they are wearing them, said Nanashi. Not even if my life depends on it. I can't believe you were able to teach me that technique by trick me to believe it was some high-speed disarm technique, said Naruto. Well, you were able to disarm your opponent but it wasn't weapon you were disarming, Nanashi replied. Perverted baka, was Naruto's description. I am not just a pervert baka, I am a super pervert baka, and you will be one of us, said Nanashi. In the vicinity of a hot spring, Jiraiya raised her fist in the air, alerting the women taking a bath there, and declared, someone who perverted level is equivalent to mine is trying to corrupt my godson to be a super pervert like us. Power to the super pervert. One woman said, Kya pervert, get him. I am not a pervert, I am a super pervert, and you won't get me once I use my super jutsu. Hentai no jutsu. Ranraki Kuheru, pervert's technique. Run like hell, Jiraiya stated, leaving behind a trail of dust. After him, is what they yell as they seek him. Naruto is back. Hikari struck Nanashi's head and said, Baka, stop trying to corrupt him and give him goodbye. Yeah, so kid, followed the way of the awesomeness. Be kick-ass with what I taught you. Let your perverted instinct take over you, said Nanashi. Naruto answered, I will never be a pervert. Nanashi concludes by saying, live a good life and we will always be with you in spirit. Thank you, Naruto said, I try my best. The Shinigami took the living to the afterlife after everyone had finished speaking to one another and the ghost had bid them farewell. After that, everyone there went to bed and slept outside under the stars. So Kakashi, it seems that you finally taken a team in to teach anyway. Take of Naruto for me, Iruka responded. Yeah, make sure you look after him or else you know why most people fear me, said Anko. Naruto pouted, saying, guys, I am not a kid anymore, I can take care of myself. We know, but it won't keep us from worry about you, Iruka replied. Anko said, yeah, what he said. I understand why Iruka is close with you, but how did you get Anko, Naruto? Kakashi inquired. Well, other than the one time I saved her from some jerk trying to take advantage of her, I dealt with Anko's curse seal, said Naruto. Kakashi remarked, wait, you got rid of it? No, I modify it, got rid of Orochimaru's chakra and his little of his consciousness that was in there and replace it with natural energy, so the snake Teme no longer can affect her in any way and she get a cool power-up with an awesome transformation, said Naruto. Kakashi inquired, does the Thrid know about it? Yes, but only him and us now know about it for certain reason, said Naruto. What reason? It sound like a great thing to have, unless there's some side effect that we should be worried about, Sasuke replied. It is an amaze seal and there are no side effect to worry about so long as built-in limited is working so that the person doesn't turn to stone for using too much natural energy. But the problem is same as the original and that it can risk the person life. It has a low survival rate, so I will only use it to modify those who already got Orochimaru's cure seal to protect them from him. The reason me and Oji-san doesn't want anyone to know before was because of Danzo. If he know, he would use it on his root agent, kill a lot of them to get powerful tool. Also Orochimaru is still out there and it best that he doesn't know we can dealt with his little invention so we can pull one on him. Naruto continued. Point taken. So Nato, a lot people hate you because of the fox, right? How do you deal with it? Asked Sasuke. Try my best to prove them wrong and that I am not it. Also find people that can see past it and see me for who I am. How about you? How do you deal with you devoted fans? Said Naruto. I just ignore them, they are annoying. So the masked guy is strong, huh? Asked Sasuke. Yeah, stronger than anyone we know. He was able to take control of Kurama, but we will get stronger and we will defeat him, said Naruto. After what he did, we can't let him win, Sasuke stated. Anyway, you should go to sleep now because we have to get up early and get Haruno-san for our morning training, said Naruto. Kakashi said, morning training, huh? Wants me to join? Naruto deadpanned, no, because we would have been finished when you came for it. Kakashi remarked, I am not that bad. Iruka and Anko replied, yes, you are. With anime tears, Kakashi uttered, no fair, you all against me. Iruka said, sleep under the stars is nice. The words, it okay, came from Anko. I wonder if I could use it in my excuse for being late, said Kakashi. Sasuke said, HN. Yeah, that why every chance I get I come here to get away from everything, said Naruto. The following day when Sasuke and Sakura arrived at Training Ground 7 following their morning workout, they saw Naruto and several of his clones in training. While some were exercising by walking on trees or in the water, others were chopping leaves and rocks, and the original Naruto was the only one meditating. Bunshin no Jutsu, clone technique, Naruto exclaimed as he emerged from his meditation, twitching as two lifeless looking clones materialized. Damn it, I can get my control to a decent level, but it never enough to make a single decent normal Bunshin. Sure, I can make a lot of cage Bunshin, no problem, but when it came to normal one they always end up look like this. It like the Bunshin no Kami forsaken me when it comes to making normal Bunshin, Naruto sighed. There is no Bunshin no Kami. All ninja related stuff fall under Shinobi no Kami and he has not forsaken you, rather he very fond of you. Kami replied from above. What do you mean you can't make a normal bunshin? Didn't you make for the gradation exam? And what with the voices? Sasuke inquired. I didn't use bunshin no jutsu, clone technique. For the gradation I use a Nis no genjutsu, false reality, technique to fake it. As for the voices, that was Kami, replied Naruto. Frisk the Shinigami. Now Kami, you know a lot powerful being, said Sakura. Naruto handed them some wrist and ankle bands and said, it's not my fault that my path crosses theirs. Now that we are officially a team, I have some advice and stuff to give out. First, put these on around your wrist and ankle. Sasuke questioned, what are they? Low range weight seal. The darker bar there are the heavier it is. We will work on speed, strength and stamina. These weight seal will help and you will have them on it all the time except 2 days per week, 1 day to see how much they help and the other for rest. Next, once you master the tree walking exercise, you will run laps around Konoha on the wall that border the village during the morning exercise. This will help improve both chakra control and reserve by a lot. Now on to individual work. I have some scroll I create with help from my ghostly friends. First up, Sock here is a scroll on many different basic taijutsu moves which you can integrate towards your for power and speed. Also some scrolls on some useful genjutsu which I was able to get but not use due to the fact I have Nis no genjutsu, false reality, and my control is not good for most of the technique due having such a high reserve. Naruto continued. What no ninjutsu? Sasuke wanted to know. Well, right now I having you work on having an edge when fighting another Sharingan user by increase you speed to move faster than your opponent can counter and some more weakness later on considering who our future enemy is. I also have you working on fighting without using the Sharingan because not only do you not have it now but when you do I don't want you to be too dependent on you in case there are time when using it doesn't help or would be a disadvantage to use it. A good ninja doesn't depend on one move but have many trick up their sleeves to help them and beside once you do get you Sharingan Kakashi will help you train in it, that why he became your sensei. Naruto said as a puff of smoke appeared nearby. Kakashi said, yo, to them. You're late, exclaimed Sakura. 2 hours and 5 minutes to be exact. I don't know if that is an improvement or not, consider it is you, said Naruto. Well, you see the night sky was so beautiful that I lost track of time from observing it, said Kakashi. The phrase, it's almost noon, was deadpanned by Sakura. Kakashi answered, what can I say? It was very captivating. I know looking at a starlit night make you feel so little but at the same time make you feel that you are a part of something greater, said Naruto. Sakura remarked, you know he's lying, right? Yes, but I don't see any point in proving him wrong so might as well go with it. Anyway, where was I with our discussion? Said Naruto. Sasuke questioned Kakashi, is it true that I was the reason he was assigned to our team? Yes, because I am the only one in Konoha who have the Sharingan but that does not mean I will neglect Sakura or Naruto training, said Kakashi. Anyway, no ninjutsu right now beside your clan library probably have more on that than me, said Naruto. Yeah, I should go and check it out now since I was finally told how to get in it. Stupid rule that said I not allowed to knows about how to get in until I became a genin and then the massacre happened and I thought that I will never be able to know until I given a chance to meet my parents' ghost. Sasuke murmured. Speaking of clan library, I should go and see my dad's library with all of his jutsu and unfinished project but mainly to use it as a bachelor pad that he used in the past to hid from mom when she was angry and pregnant with me. Anyway, most of my ninjutsu is either related to my Kekkei Genkai or wind jutsu that I created due to my element affinity. I know the Uchiha are big on fire jutsu but that does not mean that your affinity is fire so until Kakashi test our element affinity you just have to wait for some ninjutsu scroll from me. However, it does not mean I can't give you this yet. The sword and the scrolls. Sasuke questioned, what up with the scrolls and the Chikudo? That Chikudo have special seal on it and is made with a special chakra metal so you can channel you elemental chakra into it. The scroll contain basic kenjutsu move along some fire basic kenjutsu attacks. Thought it'd be useful for you to learn it, said Naruto. Sasuke remarked, thank Dobi, it's a really cool sword. No problem, I found it next to a corpse in the forest of death and forge it once I got it, said Naruto. The statement, so you went grave robbing, was deadpanned by Kakashi. I see no point in wasting a good sword like that and beside it not like anything a ninja wouldn't do, replied Naruto. Touché, announced Kakashi. Naruto said, hey, don't take Iruku's catchphrase. Sakura's heartfelt comment, Sasuke.kun is so cool wielding a sword, earned her a whack from Naruto's stick. Sakura questioned, ouch, what the hell was that for Baka? As I told you last time we will get rid of your fan girl tendency or it will get either us or you killed. So in order to deal with it I took a page from my formal sensei book and decided to beat it out of you, just like how Arrow. Seishin beat the catchphrase that I no longer dare speak of out of me, said Naruto. Kakashi inquired, oh, and what was the catchphrase? I can't tell you because I no longer dare speak of it for fear of the boots of pain, so from now on I will beat the fan girl tendency out of Haruno.san. Also I will beat the arrogant and emo tendency out of Chicken Butt because it really annoying and I get the feeling that it will cause him to sow something stupid someday like go and follow some evil pedo lord because he offer him power like candy. His vengeance tendency won't be a problem once his arrogant and emo tendency are gone because emo amounted to nothing or in Teme case cause him to do something stupid like go follow some evil pedo lord because he offer him power like candy. Hopeful once his emo side is gone he spend less time sitting around brooding about vengeance and more time training until he collapse for vengeance which is more productive, said. Sasuke got a whack on the head for brooding, I am not emo. It's a sign of emoism to brood, Naruto said. Why mention him following some evil pedo lord, that was oddly specified, Kakashi inquired. Naruto answered, I don't know, I just feel it was the right thing to say. At Otogakure, Achu, Sanin, the snake, sneezed. Someone is talking about me, it probably Sarutobi. Sensei saying something about how he failed to stop me anyway back to what I was doing, Orochimaru replied. As his henchmen gazed at him, Orochimaru exclaimed, Kya? Sasuke-kun, your body will be mine. Orochimaru remarked, well, you didn't see or hear me squeal like a girl. Orochimaru killed him after one of his foolish minions said, I did. Anyone else? Inquired Orochimaru. No, is what they say. As he hatched his evil scheme, Orochimaru said, good, now back to what I was doing. Kukuku Sasuke-kun, your body will be mine. He looked eerie. Back with the other and Naruto. Someone creepy is thinking about me. I guess it one of my fan girl, said Sasuke. Sasuke looked at Sakura, who had a heart in her eye when she saw him staring at her, and said, it probably her. Naruto then gave her another whack. Okay, now that I am done with Teme, it is your turn Haruno.san to begin with a few scroll on some advanced taijutsu moves to add onto the taijutsu you learn from the academy. Because you have prefect chakra control but reserve is really low right now, you will learn some basic genjutsu and medical ninjutsu. If you want to learn more jutsu, I suggest you go research at Konoha's library, which I don't know how much information they have because I'm not allowed there, said Naruto. Not allowed there? Inquired Sakura. Because of furball that seal in my gut, so most of the jutsu I know I got from Ghost or created myself, said Naruto. Kakashi remarked, you're already making your own jutsu, huh? Yeah, but most of them are a work in progress because I still stuck on the basic, so now that told them on what to work on, is there anything you want to add? Arrow. Kakashi. Sensei, said Naruto. What you plan is not bad, however what I want to know is what you have planned for your training Naruto, and also have an in-depth test on Sakura and Sasuke's skill that I wasn't able to get during the bell test. Kakashi responded. Well, for one thing, train in my Kekkei Genkai based jutsu so I have them mastered to a point and not get rusty in them. Next, for genjutsu, like I said, I don't have good enough control to perform them, but mostly likely train in detecting them and dispel it too. As for taijutsu, continue to condition my body to be a human weapon and practice my Muay Thai and Shaolin Kung Fu moves along with staff technique. Now for ninjutsu I will work with wind technique since I have it for my affinity along with water and earth technique because it's good to have an element or two that different than your main one for backup. Naruto continued. A sound plan, Naruto. Now Sakura, we will have a light spar first, then it will be Sasuke turn. After that we will do some D-rank mission, Kakashi stated. Naruto uttered the words, great D-rank mission, gravely. Sakura asked, what's wrong with doing mission? That's what we do. Nothing, however you will see why I dislike D-rank mission, Naruto replied. Sakura turned to face Kakashi, who said, alright, step up, Sakura, so we can start. So Teme, how are you dealing with what you learn and what are you going to do about your brother? Asked Naruto. It a lot to take in, but I dealing with it the best I can. As for my brother, I don't really know right now, said Sasuke. Want my advice on what to do? You don't have to follow it if you don't like it, said Naruto. Sasuke said, HN. Taking that as a yes, grunted, what I suggest you do is train to get stronger in mind, body, soul and maturity like you are doing now. Then once you are ready, go find your brother and talk to him about it. Once you do that, then decide on what to do, then kill him, beat him up for being an idiot and drag him back home or whatever, but whatever you do, don't regret it, and the team got your back, Naruto said as they watched Sakura become overwhelmed by Kakashi. Well, I got your back. Sakura is still fan girl crazy over you, so she follow you to the depth of hell and we can bribe Arrow. Kakashi. Sensei with smut or blackmail him. Anyway, what I'm saying is figure out your life first and think about yourself for a moment while forgetting about what other want out of you so you have clear idea on what to do, Naruto replied. I guess you right, but we still take out the masked guy no matter what, right? Replied Sasuke. As Sakura, who appeared to be about to pass out from exhaustion, and Kakashi concluded their spar, Naruto remarked, damn right there, no way that Teme is getting away. Alright, Sasuke, you're next, Kakashi said as Sakura sat down beside Naruto and Sasuke faced him. While Sakura was watching the battle and occasionally giving Naruto worried glances, Naruto closed his eye and entered a meditative state. Naruto replied, yes, Haruno-san. Sakura said uneasily, nothing, just that there's something I want to tell you. What it is? Inquired Naruto. I want to apologize for what I did in your mind. It was wrong of me to look through your memory. I should have followed your instruction and not done that, said Sakura. Yes, what you did was wrong, Naruto remarked. Uneasy, Sakura said, so do you accept my apologized? Naruto said, yes. Sakura inquired, are you still upset with me? As Sasuke and Kakashi wrap up their battle, Naruto responded, yes, but I won't let it get in the way of the team or mission that we are doing today. Kakashi said, all right, let's choose a mission to complete. Cleaning the river was the first mission. Whoosh, said Naruto, who was standing on the water's surface when he swung his net, catching all the trash the tree had trapped in a ball of water and levitating around him. Makona said, Naruto.kun, use the force. No, join the dark side, we have cookies, delicious grandma homemade cookies full of evil chocolate chip chuck, Cloud replied. Sakura asked, Baka, what are you doing? Other beginning my path as a Jedi Knight. I am working on my chakra control while at the same time fine-tuning my staff technique, replied Naruto. Kakashi questioned, so you can do the water walking exercise, huh, Naruto? Yeah, but my control is still around high genin or low chunin, not good enough to make one good normal bunshin, said Naruto. Kakashi questioned, wait, then how you graduate? Fake it with Nis no Genjutsu, false reality. Are you going to send me back to the academy for that? Asked Naruto. No, if you could pull something like that off you deserve to graduate, Kakashi replied. Sasuke inquired, hey, how do you do the water walking exercises? Well, you supposed to learn after mastering tree walking, but I guess you can get started with this. For water walking exercises, do the same thing as tree walking, but you have to constantly emit chakra to the bottom of your feet to create a strong surface tension on the water to stay afloat. Remember to stay calm and clear your mind, Naruto said as both of his teammates started the workout. Mission Dog Walking's next step, Naruto turned to face his miniature self and uttered, Denketsu no Tamashi. Chibi Modo, Unity Soul. Chibi Mode. Kakashi questioned, Naruto, what are you doing now? Naruto said, riding a giant golden retriever. Well, just walking the dogs sounds boring, so I decide to switch from walking to racing, and by me changing into my chibi form so I can ride them, right Bolt? The words, right Naruto, came from Bolt. Sasuke questioned, who are you going to race, Dobi? Me and Kujo. Yami Naruto, in chibi, said while perched atop a Doberman. Yes, Bolt, you won't defeat me, Kujo said. Don't forget about me and Bull. Chibi Naruto perched atop a collie. Bull exclaimed, race, race, let's get it started. Naruto, you can't do this, Kakashi. Sensei won't let you, said Sakura. The Hokage and the clan heads were among the ninjas who screamed out bets as Kakashi said, now place your bets who will win the living lightning bolt, the dark terror Kujo, or the adorable Bull. Are you prepared? Inquired Kakashi. As Naruto, Yami Naruto, and Chibi Naruto said, hi. As the Narutos and dogs started the race, Kakashi remarked, okay, on your mark, get ready, set, go. I hope Naruto win because I put a lot of sum on him, said Sasuke. Sakura questioned, Kakashi. Sensei, how can you let this happen? Kakashi answered, well, I get a cut from the bet made. There are 101 mission later childcares. The daycare's childcare provider said, okay, you and your team will help me take care of the children until their parent come to pick them up, before turning to face Naruto. The caretaker whispers to Kakashi, is it safe to have him here? The demon brat might end up eating the children. Naruto sarcastically remarked, nah, I prefer adult, you know, more meat on the bones, which made the caregivers back off. Naruto sighed, man, I can't even joke about that. As the child care provider began to relax, Kakashi remarked, you don't need to worry, what you hear about him is wrong. He really is a good person, and aside from that, I am keeping an eye on them. Arrow. Kakashi. Sensei, you can't read your Ika Ika books in front of children, or else I will tell all the Kunoichi about it and they will murder you. I won't have your corrupt innocent children now, said Naruto. The caretaker glared at Kakashi and said, "He right, Hitaki-san, if you read such smut in front of them, you will die." With anime tears in her eyes, Kakashi uttered, "But what am I supposed to read then? Didn't you reread the current volume 100 times and now waiting for the sequel that will come out in half a year from now?" said Naruto. Kakashi continued to cry anime tears as he said, "Yes, but I still need my smut to keep me entertained while I keep an eye on my minions." "Fine, you can read the book I wrote. It will be released next week, but my publisher give me a few copies so I can promote them and it not smut, so it is okay to read in front of kids," Naruto replied. Kakashi took the book and asked, "Heart of the Mage Ninja. Book 1 Academy Day by Orange Writer, a pen name, huh? What the book about?" "Well, it is the first in its series and it about a young hero who live a cursed life due to the fact that his heroic father sacrificed himself to bind the soul of Nine-Tailed Catastrophe Dragon, who under control of an evil lord, to the soul of our hero in order to save his kingdom. The hero lives a life full of people hating and fearing him because he became the living prison for the Nine-Tailed Dragon. Now he is on a quest to earn the respect of others by become the greatest ninja mage in history, and on his journey he will find friendship, love, happiness in the place where he belongs. Original the hero has only one love interest, but my editor said it will be more interesting to make it into a harem, so his love interest became the main girl in the harem," Naruto explained. Kakashi thumbed through the book and remarked, "Nine-Tailed Dragon, huh, so you use your real life as inspiration." According to Naruto, nothing can influence you like real life. As they proceeded to meet the child they would be observing. As the child looks at them, the caregiver says, "Okay kid, we have some ninja join us today." The girl who was closest to Sasuke was staring at him with intense concentration, and he would glare at her, making her cry whenever a female entered his personal space. Sakura tried to calm the girl down by saying, Shush, don't cry little girl, do some Sasuke-kun. But Sasuke looked at her with a, like what, expression on his face. Sakura uttered, "Kakashi. Sensei help." Kakashi, who was too absorbed in Naruto's book to pay attention to anything else, said, "Narukaze, don't give up on love yet. You need it to be the hero you're meant to be. Lady Hina is the only one that can help him now." Sakura said, "How about you, Naruto?" Giving her the necklace was Naruto's way of saying, "Okay, fine. Hey little girl, look at the nice necklace I have here, I give to you if you stop crying." With awe in her eyes, the girl questioned, "Wow, the butterfly flapping its wing. Is it a magic necklace?" "Yes, and if you cover your hand over it and look at it, it will glow in the dark," said Naruto. "Whoa," she exclaimed. Sakura inquired, "Hey, where do you get some like that?" "It is a bunch of trinket I made with low-level seal that take in small amount of ambient chakra to power it and do the thing it does," said Naruto. The other children said, "Hey, I want one." "Yeah, me too." Naruto said, "All right, line up and I'll pass them out." Naruto handed them his knick-knack and said, "Now, let's play ninja tag for the rest of the day." They all said, "Okay, ninja tag?" inquired Sasuke. "Yeah, it tag ninja style. Everyone break up into team of under my, Imo or Haruno command, then we spend the rest of the time catching Makona," said Naruto. Sasuke said, "Makona the yellow pork bun. Yeah, Makona is good at kid games so it'd be really hard to get him," said Naruto. Makona responded, "Yes, I am the king of kids game." Sasuke remarked, "Shay, he doesn't look that hard to catch." As they were divided into teams, Naruto remarked, "Famous last word Imo." The girl who had been moved to tears by Sasuke joined Naruto and a few other members, while Sasuke and Sakura were disappointed. It was time for the parents to pick up their kids after hours of play, and an irate Uchiha conceded defeat for failing to capture Makona. While waiting for the parent to pick up their kids, Sasuke remarked, "I can't believe that I was not able to get that little pork bun." While the parents there sneer at him for being close to their child, Naruto said, "I told you but no you did listen, but it was a good workout and you learn a few things about tracking and pursuit." "Bye everyone," was said by Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi, who provided the care. Then, to the horror of some of the parents there, the children attack Naruto and seize him, refusing to let go. They all gave Naruto a combined puppy eye that was unbreakable as they pulled on him, saying, "No, we want to hang out with you more." Naruto gave Kakashi his puppy eye without using any jutsu and said, "Arrow. Kakashi. Sensei helps me please." "Fine, you know a lot of non-lethal dangerous jutsu. Anyway kids, how about if we come once a month when we don't have any out of the village mission, will you let Naruto go and go home?" Kakashi responded. "Daily," the children answered. The reply from Kakashi was, "Once every 2 weeks." Following their, okay, response, they went to their shell, shocked parent. Kakashi remarked, "You're really great with Kid Naruto." "That because I still won at heart anyway. You said we will visit them once every 2 weeks, but not anything about them coming to visit us, so I guess they be sneaking to see us," Naruto said. Kakashi remarked, "So you said I got tricked by a bunch of kids?" Naruto replied, "Yep. Present mission," the Hokage said. "All right, Team 7 will search for Tora, the daimyo's wife cat." Naruto said, "Tora ha okay," as he opened a grill and started preparing some fish. He fans the fish while it cooks, which makes Tora appear. As the fish was finished cooking and Naruto placed it on a plate for Tora, a Chunin employee there asked, "Did he just catch the demon Tora under 30 minutes? Naruto asked Tora, who dug in, "So how is it?" He said, "Meow." As Naruto thought, 5-star not bad. With a gentle pat, Madam Shijimi said, "Oh Tora, it's good to see you again." Greeting Madam Shijimi, "It seems like you took my advice on cat care. Tora looks happier and healthier," said Naruto. "Ah little Naruto-kun, yes those book really help and letting him run around while letting little ninja like you to give him some good exercise. Now he fit for the cat show. Also thank you for those dessert recipes and training our cooks, they now make the best meal that are envy of the other country. It was nice seeing you again and I will leave you a little tip for the job but don't tell anyone," said Madam Shijimi. Naruto replied, "Okay, thanks, and good luck with the cat show." Kakashi and everyone else there were in awe as they asked, "Naruto, how did you just catch Tora in recorded time and without getting any damage?" "I made a deal with him which he agreed to when I help him with his little problem and now he has a no-scratch policy with me but for some reason it doesn't apply to other ninjas, something about not giving him food or treating him with respect," replied Naruto. "Well since you were done with that how about another mission? Let's see there babysitting an elder's grandson, shopping for a neighboring village or help out with potato digging," the Hokage replied. "None, we've been doing chores for week and I am running out of idea to do them in a way that help me in my training and make them more interesting or fun. I mean there are a number of time you can host a dog race until it lose its interest," said Naruto. "Baka, you are just a rookie, you have to start off with simple duties and work your way up like everyone else," Iruka stated. "It doesn't mean you have to use us like cheap labor worker," said Naruto. Sigh. "Look like I need to explain to you how mission work and are assigned. Every day the village receives numerous requests from babysitting to assassination, then it is written down and divided into A, B, C or D rank based on a difficulty. Based on your skill and rank you will be assigned the mission of a certain rank that fit your skill level. Because you guys are Genin D rank mission fit you best," the Hokage said. Bribery, threat or blackmail. I got nothing that I can bribe him with yet and I should save those incriminating photos for later so all I left with is threats," Naruto said while disregarding the Hokage lecture. With a tick mark, the Hokage said, "Naruto, pay attention when people are speaking to you. Yeah, geez, all you do is lectures me but you should know that I no longer troublemaking brat that found 101 way to up in detention that you still think I am. Also in my defense it was quite an accomplishment, I mean how many people can find 101 different ways to end up in detention in one school year," said Naruto. "I still don't know how you got the address of a missing nin and befriend them in one letter." Iruka was deadpanned. "I have my ways," was Naruto's response. "I afraid to ask but who is the missing nin that you befriend?" asked Kakashi. "Well as of now I am the pen pals and long distance best friend of Uchiha Itachi. Also I've been sending exploding package to one missing Iwa nin named Idera who for some odd reason enjoy them plus a few other," Naruto replied with an innocent grin. Sasuke questioned, "What, you have been writing to my brother?" "Yes and oh yeah, he wants me to tell you something when I told him that you were on my team. He me tell you word for word quote, 'Foolish brother stop being emo because emos don't amount to anything,' end quote," Naruto replied. The words, "I am not emo," came out of Sasuke's twitching eyes. "I wonder if they got my letter and gifts that I sent recently," Naruto thinks. Headquarters of Akatsuki. Look like Uzumaki-san sent his recently gift to us. He a good kid because of him I always have a supply of Pocky to enjoy," Itachi replied. "Pocky? So the Kyuubi Jinchuriki newest gifts just arrived so where my fired shrimps?" asked Kisame. "Over there and it looked like he finished writing the book he told us about because he sent each of us a copy. Cheesecake flavor Pocky, you are a genius Naruto and when the time come I make sure Akatsuki don't get you so you can continue to make the miracle know as Pocky," said Itachi. Kisame bit into a fried shrimp and asked, "What was that Itachi?" "Nothing," said Itachi. Boom, 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 boom. With tears in his eyes, Deidara remarked, a chain reaction exploding package that created one giant explosion launching a bunch of mini explosions, such a beautiful form of art. Sasori deadpanned, that not art is an assassination attempt that you keep encouraging. Returning to mission hall. So Oji-san, you better give us a C-rank mission or else something unpleasant will happen to your collection of Icha book that you have hidden in your secret desk drawer, said Naruto. Sakura started to say, Naruto, you can't just threaten people, especially the Hokage too, but was cut off. Everyone started to perspire when the Hokage said, okay, anything you want, just please don't hurt my precious Ika collection. I mean, I will assign a C-rank mission if your sensei thinks you are ready, the Hokage replied. Well, the Kakashi thought. Oh arrow. Kakashi. Sensei 10th wooded floorboard from the window in your bedroom, sings Naruto. As everyone else started to perspire once more, Kakashi said, yep, they are really ready for C-rank mission. Please give it to us. I don't want anything to happen to my precious Icha collection. Naruto is either a good extortionist or is everyone really perverted, said Sakura. Naruto handed them his novel and said, both, and thank Oji-san for the C-rank mission. Oh, here Oji-san and Iruka, I finished the book I wrote. It is a good read even though it has no smut, it is as good as the Icha series, Kakashi stated. Really now, well, I will give it a try anyway, your mission is to guard someone, come in and introduce yourself, the Hokage replied. Naruto's client, an elderly alcoholic, said, what? A bunch of brats, none of them look like ninja. Especially the short one with stupid looking face. However, Naruto could see the ghost of a young man behind him. Give Makona the stolen sake, Naruto said. Short, huh? Well, you don't look like much of a drunk without your drink. Here Makona some sake. The client sobbed, for my sake. After finishing the sake, Makona sighs, ah, wave country fineness, while Naruto gazes at the ghost behind the elderly men. The ghost said, you can see me? And Naruto gave him a nod. My name is Kaiza, please you have to help my father and family. Our country need the bridge to be free, so please make sure it is built, said Kaiza. Naruto whispered to Kaiza, I do what I can. Damn you brat, anyway I am the super expert bridge builder Tazuna and you will protect me until I get back to my country and complete the bridge, said Tazuna. Cool, but once you are done you have to have the bridge name after me, said Naruto. Why? Inquired Tazuna. Because I am a ninja and a ninja is a master of having historic or soon-to-be historic structure name after them. Also I am that awesome that I need something like a bridge name after me, said Naruto. Tazuna said, you know, you are really weird. Yes, I am, Naruto replied. Omake, the top 10 reasons I'm missing class today. Academy Days Naruto 101 ways to get detention. Ramen Festival number 1 as someone was putting a ramen bowl crown on Naruto. A very irate Iruka asked, Naruto, why aren't you in class right now? Iruka, you expect me, the number 1 ramen enthusiast, to sit in class while there's an annual ramen festival going on? Replied Naruto. Well, I guess you have a point there, but you know that you have a week worth of detention for this, Iruka replied. Naruto retorted, you know that I will take a year worth of detention for ramen. True, but come on, you have to get back to class, Iruka replied. As a pretty girl kisses him on the cheek, Naruto remarked, I will once I get a kiss from the ramen princess. Kiba said, lucky Teme, I can't believe he beat us, and Shikamaru, Shino, and Choji all nodded. That the ramen princess, maybe next year I take a day off and come with you. Also Kiba, Shino, Choji and Shikamaru, you have detention too, Iruka replied. Together, Kiba, Shino, Choji, and Shikamaru uttered the words, worth it. Second, I isolate myself. Iruka banged on the door and said, Naruto, answer the door and explain why you are not in class again. Iruka, is that you? I need help. I locked myself in and can't get out, that why I am not in class, so can you help me? Naruto said from the inside. You really do need help if you can't unlock yourself from the inside. Anyway, come and open the door, Iruka replied. I can't because I locked myself in, so you have to come in and help me, said Naruto. Iruka remarked, Naruto, quit playing around, I not, was Naruto's response. Iruka broke the door and said, fine then, I'm coming in. Naruto remarked, Iruka, was that necessary? The door was unlocked. Iruka started to say, if it was unlocked then why can't, but stopped when he noticed Naruto's head protruding from a chest that had multiple locks on it. Iruka questioned, Naruto, what the hell happened? I told you I locked myself in. It happened when I was practice my escape routine, then I accidentally lost the keys and forgot how to escape, said Naruto. May I ask how you locked yourself in the chest by yourself? Iruka responded. You may, but I can't answer because I don't really know myself, replied Naruto. Okay, I get some backup to help you out, but you will have to serve detention for this, Iruka replied. Naruto questioned, for not being in class today? Yes, but also for being stupid enough to lock yourself in, Iruka replied. The third doctor's note. Naruto, how did end up in an insane asylum when you're supposed to be in class right now? Asked Iruka. Naruto questioned, didn't you get my doctor's note? Yes, but all it say was you were diagnosed with dissociative disorder and sent to an insane asylum until you get a grip on reality, and it was diagnosed by a foot doctor. Can you explain why you have a foot doctor and how come he diagnoses you with dissociative disorder when it should be done by a psychologist? Iruka inquired. Well, the Anbu want to check my feet out to find out if I have a foot keke genke because they can't seem to catch me for some reason, so they send me to a foot doctor to check it out. But once I got there I claimed that he was a doctor that cannot treat or diagnose me even though he was a licensed doctor. Then that argument went on for an hours until he stated that I have dissociative disorder and said I need to be treated for it, said Naruto. Naruto nodded in agreement when Iruka asked, let me get this straight, he was a licensed doctor, right? Iruka asked again, but you claim that he that can't treat or diagnose you? Naruto nodded in agreement. Iruka questioned, why was he unable to treat or diagnose you? Well, I may not be a ninja, but I am a ninja in training, so I still entitled to some of the ninja rights, like going to a ninja school, do ninja training and have ninja day. That was why he was not able to treat or be my doctor in any way, because he was not a ninja doctor, Naruto replied with a straight face. I getting this straightened out, but you got detention for missing class and ending up in an insane asylum. Also, since we here we must as well find a psychologist because you have problems, Iruka murmured. It better be a ninja psychologist or else they can't treat me, said Naruto. Iruka deadpanned, saying, you know what, I don't know if anyone can really treat at all. Fourth log day. Naruto, what are you doing out of class, and carry a log for that matter? Iruka responded. Naruto exclaimed, praise the log Iruka. Iruka uttered, amen, now explain. Well, I want to honor the great log, so I decide to dedicate a day for the honorable log and pick the first day a week from the first day of spring for it to be log day, for spring is when all plant grow and tree bloom. And since it is a holiday today, there should be no school today, said Naruto. Naruto, I agree with you, but until you petition it and the Hokage agree to it, it's not an official holiday, so you can't take the day off. I'm afraid I have to get you detention for today, Iruka replied. Damn, okay, let go, but can I take log number 7 with me, he my first best friend? Asked Naruto. Okay, and we can start on that petition to make log day an office holiday during detention, Iruka replied. Naruto said, all right, let go log number 7. Number 5, change of career. Naruto, what are you doing here and not in class again for the 100th times? Iruka responded. I am here to give my inspirational speech, Dabbeo, said Naruto. It was, Dabbeo, everywhere. Dabbeo? Inquired Iruka. Dabbeo was repeated by all. It is the word that my speech based on and the one I used to inspire us, Dabbeo, said Naruto. It was, Dabbeo, everywhere. Naruto, what the hell is going on? You not starting a cult, are you? Because that is a bad thing. Iruka responded. No, I actually exploring my career option in case this ninja thing doesn't work out and decide my next best career choice would be a motivational speaker. Right now I trying it out by information people about the power of Dabbeo. Dabbeo, said Naruto. It was, Dabbeo, everywhere. Are they going to do that every time, and why did you choose Dabbeo? Iruka responded. Yes, and I used Dabbeo because believe it didn't work out, Dabbeo, said Naruto. It was, Dabbeo, everywhere. Now that I know believe it didn't work, I somewhat glad, but you still have detention for this. I don't know what this is really, but you have detention for this, Dabbeo, Iruka replied. It was, Dabbeo, everywhere. Dabbeo? Asked Naruto. It was, Dabbeo, everywhere. To which Iruka replied, Dabbeo. It was, Dabbeo, everywhere. Sit number 6. Iruka questioned from a safe distance, Naruto, why are there tiger cubs with you? Well, I have to sit them for a few hours and decide to bring them to class, but lost them somehow on the way to class and spend the rest of the day looking for them. Now that I found them, it is time to take them home, and that what I am doing right now, said Naruto. How I taking care of tiger cubs count as cat sitting? Iruka inquired. Tiger are of the big cat family, so they are cats, said Naruto. Iruka remarked, touche, but you have detention for this. Number 7. It's not Saturday. Naruto, wake up, you have detention again for sleeping in and missing class today, Iruka replied. A drowsy Naruto questioned, what, class? But isn't today Saturday, meaning we don't have class because it is the weekend? Naruto, today is Monday. How you think it is Saturday escape me, Iruka replied. Naruto questioned, man, what happens to weekend? Number 8. What changed on Sunday? Naruto, wake up, you have detention again for sleeping in and missing class today again, Iruka replied. With a rubbing of his eyes, Naruto questioned, what is it not Sunday today? Iruka answered, no, it's Wednesday. When did they change Sunday to be some other day other than today? Asked Naruto. I think since I really need to get you a calendar, Naruto, replied Iruka. The 9th is my day off. Naruto, wake up, you have detention again for sleeping in and missing class today again. This is the 3rd time it happened and I know for sure that you didn't mistaken today for the weekend since I got you that calendar, Iruka stated. What, Iruka? Sensei, didn't you get my notice I am taking a day off today? Naruto sighed. Iruka inquired, what do you mean a day off? Well, I've been really stressful out from all of the school work, so I did what any normal person who overworked does and take the day off, said Naruto. Naruto, you are an academy student, you don't get to take a day off, Iruka replied. As Naruto put it, we should, Iruka remarked, but you don't. Number 10. I'm not able to pay bail, Iruka addressed the 2 Anbu manning the jail cell, saying, I here because I got a note that stated Uzumaki Naruto was in jail. Hey Iruka. Sensei, I've been in prison for so long that it changed me. I'm not the same man I once was, said Naruto. The Anbu wearing a bunny mask remarked, Uzumaki-san, you have been in here for an hour. It is the longest hour in my entire life since ever, but hey look, I already started a prison gang with log number 7 and Mr. Pillow. Log number 7 is in here because he robs a paper store saying something about crime against treekind while Mr. Pillow kills someone, said Naruto. Naruto, did you forgot to take UADD meds again? Iruka responded. Naruto uttered, maybe, so what did he do this time? Paint a nobleman face, put itching powder in council member underwear or dump syrup? Iruka was curious. Naruto cut in, maple syrup, the maple makes it special. Dump maple syrup on store owners. So what crime did he commit to end up in jail for? Iruka inquired. Well, he did do all those things plus some other more, but he not in any major trouble for any of those things. What more, he not a criminal, he is by the order of the Hokage to be sent here to sever time out in this prison cell for refusing to cleaning his room. Anbu, the cat, replied. Wait, time out? Replied Iruka. Yes, said the bunny Anbu. Iruka repeated, for not cleaning his room. I know it's seen a little extreme for that, but once you look at the mess you agree that he really need to clean it, and having him sit here and think about until he it is the right punishment. Anbu, the cat, replied. Iruka questioned, then why does the note said he needs bail money? Naruto replied, because I do. Naruto, you're not really severing time in jail, you're in an extreme form of time out. Iruka replied. Naruto answered, I know, but I'm still having some difficulties. Then what you are asking is not bail but bribery, Iruka replied. Naruto's question was, what the different? Bail is money you pay for letting you out of jail but promised that you will return for your court date. Bribery is money you pay for others to look the other way when you do something wrong, Iruka stated. But bail become bribery when you don't return for court, and that what I doing, Iruka. Sensei, so please lend me some bribery, or I mean bail money, said Naruto. You miss class for this. You know what, not only do you have detention, once you out you can rot it in here until you decide to clean up your act and clean your room. Until then they can throw the books at you, Iruka replied. The bunny Anbu stated, you know, we can't actually do that since he is not really a criminal. When I said throw the books at him, I mean literally throw the book at him. Now Naruto, goodbye and see you on the outside, Iruka replied. Naruto remarked, wait, you can't do that, where my rights are. It either this or real jail, and all thing consider this as a fair punishment, Iruka stated. Wait, I'm innocent, it wasn't me who did it, it was Mr. Green with a lead pipe in the kitchen, I tell you, said Naruto. The cat Anbu questioned, what is he talking about? I really don't know sometime, but I think he need to take his ADD meds and he should get back to normal. Well, as normal as he ever will be, Iruka replied. At Konoha's front gate, O great spirit known as the Creator, Mother Earth who watches over all living thing, Kami, Shinigami, Lord of Hell, Lady Luck, Fate, Destiny, the Log, Shinobi no Kami, Inari Okami, Ramen no Kami and all others divine deities, I, Uzumaki Naruto, am about to go on a journey and pray that those who are not too busy with their holy duties to bless us and watch over me, my team, my sensei and my client so that we may have a successful mission. I offer my, oh my Kami frosted triple layer chocolate fudge cake, which I place at the altar for you all in the ashes from a noble log that became woodchucks after it saved the life of a ninja. Praise the log, which I shall give in the form of the tradition ritual dance in honor of the log and Mother Earth so that the ashes may enrich the land and bear new trees that will be made into a more noble logs, Naruto said in odd clothes as I scatter ashes. Sasuke questioned, Dobi, what the hell are you doing? Praying for a successful mission to all kind of deities, it is part of my religious practices, he replied. Most of those deities are not from the same religion, said Sakura. As Naruto walked to a chibi piggybank of himself with a word bubble that read, I bet you will have a successful mission, he said. I take any deities that are willing to offer their blessing to me because miracles are really rare. Now I need to make a bet to further the successfulness of the mission. He put 100 Ryo in it and said, I bet that I will have a successful mission and return with a kick-ass hat. Sasuke pointed to the piggybank and said, all right, explain that now. Oh that. Well, people used to use my luck for a safe and successful mission by making bets on their mission with me, but I got tired of them waking me up at night or when they would bug me when I was busy, so I set up this piggybank as a substitute. All the money goes to ninja family who lost a member of their family in the line of duty. Just make a bet so we can have some luck on this mission, said the man. Sakura's heartfelt statement, I don't need luck, I have Sasuke-kun with me, earned her a slap from Naruto's wooden stick. The words, no going fan. Girl, Bad Haruno.san, were spoken by Naruto. As he appeared with Tazuna beside him, Kakashi remarked, Yo, it looks like the gang is all here. Naruto, we are going on a long journey, you should have packed more stuff than what you are carrying right now. I did and consider that I carry everything with me, I brought more things than needed. The only reason it looks like I am carry almost nothing is because I seal it all in storage scrolls, and I also have a key to a subspace universe that hold an entire city that linked to me by Makona. Anyways, I thought that by using a storage scroll I can travel lightly while still carrying the same number of supplies, he replied. Storage scrolls, damn it, why didn't I think of that? Naruto, do you have extra storage scrolls that we can use? Replied Kakashi. As he handed them the scrolls, he said, yeah, you can pay me back when you get the money. Pay you? Inquired Kakashi. Yeah, pay me, scrolls and inks are not cheap. Also Haruno.san, put this beanie on. Your hair color stand out too much and emo goggle for you, so don't lose your precious clan's eyes, he said as he handed them the goods. As Sasuke put on the goggles to protect his eyes, she said, my hair, what about yours? Your blonde hair and orange colored clothes stand out more than pink. 1. The orange I have on is a dark and earthly colored so it can blend with the environment very well, and 2. Until you can pull a prank behind the Anbu back while wear neon orange, you cannot comment me on such matter, he responded. You do tend to prank the Anbu a lot and manage to get away with it, Kakashi said. Well, if I didn't I wouldn't have gotten pay for my S-rank mission, he replied. Naruto, stop making stuff up, only Jonin and Anbu get S-rank mission, said Sakura. And me, but all of them so far is village security evaluation, he replied. What? She inquired. I prank the villagers and find flaw in the village security, which is fun to do, which I was planning on doing if I have to do one more D-rank mission, but now that we have a C-rank mission I do it when I come back and you guys can help, but you must go through the initiation first, he responded. Even though doing an S-rank mission as a genin sounds great, my instinct however are telling me that the initiation is something I will regret, said Sasuke. Oh, you will, but let's worry about that later. Let's go now, exclaimed Naruto. Sakura inquired, what are you so excited about? Cause this is the first time that I left the village willingly. The first time I left the village was when someone stuffed me into a potatoes sack and put me in a cart that was leaving Konoha. To make the long story short, I ended up joining the circus in order to get back home, said Naruto. Tazuna said, kid, you're joking right? Nope, that really did happen, and I failed my second attempt of becoming a ninja because I miss about a whole year worth of learning, he said with a straight face. Tazuna questioned, am I going to be safe with this brat? Well, depend on how much you piss me off. If you want to be safe and still have your sake with you, you shouldn't piss me off so much, he replied with a wicked grin. Tazuna hugged his liquor and said, I be good. Naruto tipped a baseball cap that appeared on his head out of nowhere and said, good, let's go get our first ninja badge. Pika Pika, claimed Makona. Kakashi questioned, Naruto, should I ask what the hell you are doing? Sorry, I'm still going through my cosplay phase anyway, let hurry so we can get to the diner before morning, he replied. Diner? Naruto, we are headed to the land of wave, that our destination? Said Kakashi. Yeah, I know, but it is tradition that we should stop by any diner on the way for pancakes, he replied. Kakashi stated, we don't have time, so we can't, Naruto. With a face that suggested someone had informed him that there was no such thing as the Saint Log, which is a gift given to good boys and girls for the winter holiday log. Moss, he exclaimed, what, no pancakes? Sorry we can't, but how about on the way back we will stop by one for pancakes, said Kakashi. Okay, let's do this mission for pancakes, he replied. Tazuna remarked, what about me? I'm the one paying you. And with each bite of the yummy pancakes I will be remaindered of the drunk who money pay for the pancakes, said Naruto. Either I end up dead or this brat will drive me insane, said Tazuna. Traveling to the land of waves after a few hours of their journey, Kakashi remarked, Naruto, you are oddly quiet. I figure that you would be complaining or throwing a tantrum by now. Naruto? He inquired since there was no answer. Z's, Naruto, he cried, his eyes twitching as he turned to see Naruto blowing a snot bubble while sleepwalking with his eyes open. Naruto rubbed the fatigue from his eyes and remarked, oh, I'm sorry, Kakashi. If I fall asleep while walking, I usually sleepwalk with my eyes open. I don't know why it happens, but for some reason it happens. Are there any more strange habit that you have that I should know about? Kakashi responded. I might have a few more, but I don't really keep track of them to know what to tell you, replied Naruto. Anyway Naruto, I didn't get the chance to ask sooner, but has there been any situation with the villagers that needed to be dealt with since the meeting with the council about your heritage and about your furry little problem? Kakashi inquired. I don't remember mentioning anything about Project Cottontail during the meeting, he responded. Sasuke said, Project Cottontail. Something that Naruto did that forbid him from ever having any more cute and fluffy animal as pet unless a certain condition is met, and no Naruto, I was talking about Kurama, not that. Kakashi responded. Oh, that furry little problem. Sorry about that, and as for any situation that needed to be dealt with, well, there an increase in the number of assassins that are following me, but I figure that it will eventually die down now that I am currently out of the village, he replied. Kakashi questioned, there are assassins following you? Yeah, well, at least that what I concluded from observing them, he replied. Kakashi inquired, and what did you observe from them? Well, they are all female around my age. Currently they are observing and gather information on me by following me everywhere I go and dumpster driving through my trash. They're not very skilled since I can detect them, nor are they very stealthy since I can hear them making sound and for some strange reason giggling when they are retreating. And I assume that they are assassins due to the sense of dread and impending doom that I sense from being near them, he continued. Naruto, those are not assassins, they are fan girls, and I think some of the council member told or mentioned something about your heritage, and now they are having their daughter or a female family member pursued you. The difference between an assassin and fan girl is that an assassin mission is to destroy your life because they were hired to do so, while fan girl destroy your life due to an obsession they have for you. You got to remember that, Kakashi stated. When Sasuke glanced at Sakura, he shivered and said, if I had to choose between the two, I would rather face an assassin than a fan girl. Arrow. Kakashi. Sensei, they can't be fan girls because I am the village pariah and I don't get to have fan girls, replied Naruto. Deny is the way to go, Dobi. If you ignore them, hopeful they will go away, said Sasuke. There's no point in telling Sasuke that his method will never work, or Naruto, that like his father, it is in his genes that he will have a lot of girls falling for him, Kakashi grumbled. As he resumed reading the Naruto novel, he remarked, but at least it will be entertaining to watch them learn that fact. Now let's see what happens next. Kakashi. Sensei, since we are headed to Wave Country, I was wondering if they have ninja in that country? Is there a chance that we will encounter enemy ninja? Sakura inquired. No, there are no hidden villages in Wave, and since this is a C-rank mission, there's little chance we will meet any ninja at all. The most trouble we most likely encounter will be a few bandits, Kakashi stated. Unless some missing nin took the wrong direction and end up crossing path with us, said Naruto. How did you come to that conclusion? Usually the main reason that most ninjas encounter an enemy missing ninjas on a C-rank mission is due to the client lying or lack of information, Kakashi asked unnervingly to Tazuna. Because they have the word missing in their title, so I thought they got the title because they miss the right turn a lot, or the word missing they use is related to the word lost, he stated. Naruto missing nin means they are runaway shinobi, not lost or miss the right turn shinobi. Kakashi was deadpanned. So that what their title means, huh? Oh hey, look, a puddle in the middle of the road on a sunny day when it hasn't rained in days, that could only mean one thing, said Naruto. What the big deal? Tazuna asked herself. Sakura wondered, what is Naruto doing now? Sasuke observed, it's just a stupid puddle. Wait, he said it hasn't rained in days, and it's a sunny day. Something's wrong here. The enemy will be on guard now, so I guess I'll have to prepare for battle now. So Naruto notices, but I wish he hadn't announced it, Kakashi thought. The mist ninja, who was hiding in the puddle, wondered, how did he find out? Tree said, skipping rocks. To which Naruto replied, skipping rocks. Skipping rocks, was Makona's confirmation. Skipping rocks, exclaimed Cloud. Skipping rocks, was Obito's response to their ridiculous behavior. Everyone else thought, sweating profusely, skipping rocks. Naruto said, okay, here I go, and threw a pebble-sized rock that struck the puddle before sinking and painfully striking one of the mist ninja. As he threw a fist-sized rock that struck the puddle with great force and then sank again, this time hitting the other mist ninja, causing some brain damage and a large bump on the head, he said, that didn't work, let's try a bigger rock now. Kakashi watched in amusement. He said, okay, third time the charm, this time with an even bigger rock. He then threw a huge boulder that crushed bodies, but it missed and struck the ground next to them, causing the ground to tremble. I miss, he said as the two mist ninjas soaked themselves, jumping out of the puddle to avoid swimming in their own urine. People coming out of a small puddle like that could only mean one thing, said the man. Kakashi remarked, that's right, Naruto. Now everyone forms a line. Everyone took the blame when he said, it was a magical puddle and now I can get my wishes granted. One of the mist ninja, Gozu, stated, the only wish that we grant is your death wish. Maizu, the other mist ninja, said, you will pay for what you did, brat. Naruto remarked, so I guess that it wasn't a magical puddle. In response, Kakashi said, no, it wasn't Naruto. He said, and I won't get my wish granted, will I? No, you will not, Kakashi replied. Also they're enemy ninjas and now we have to face them, right? Asked he. Right, Kakashi replied. So I guessing that I should not tell you about the bad news right now, he replied. What bad news? Inquired Kakashi. Well, I kind of lost my untested custom-made explosive tags that I am not allowed to test within 100 km of Konoha, said the man. Kakashi inquired, where was the last time you have them? He pointed to a block of explosive tags in front of Gozu and Maizu and remarked, well, I had them on me during my second attempt at skipping rock. Oh wait, there they are. And it is a good thing that we are way past the 100-kilometer limit of Konoha, said the man. Kakashi asked, and why is that, Naruto? He stated, because the tags are lit and the untested custom-made explosive tags will be tested, as the tags detonated, sending the two mist ninjas skyward along with a pillar of fire. Once in the air, they were sent plummeting to the ground by another explosion that resembled a fiery phoenix. They then received second or third degree burns from the phoenix's shower of fire, but they survived it despite the excruciating pain. Okay, those are keepers, once I get back I'm going to make more of them, he replied. Sasuke remarked, when you do, save some for me so I can buy some. He dug into the missing ninja pockets and said, sure, why not? Let's see what we got here. Only 50,000 Ryo, man. You missing ninjas must be falling on hard time. Oh well, maybe I can find some use for your gauntlets and masks. Kakashi questioned, Naruto, what are you doing now? Spoils of war, was his response. Okay, anyway, you guys stay here while I interrogate them for some answer, said Kakashi. If they don't talk, I got more explosive tags to test arrow. Kakashi Sensei, among other thing, he stated. The two mist ninja pointed at Naruto and said, we talk, don't let him near us. Naruto remarked, why does everyone want to ruin my fun? Kakashi glared at Tazuna after questioning the missing ninjas and said, well, it seems that they were after you. Would you mind explaining how a C-rank mission is now a B-rank mission? That because I didn't have enough money to pay for a C-rank. You see, Wave Country is poor due to the control Gatu have over it, who is most likely the person that sent those ninja. Gatu, who officially runs a large shipping company but sell drugs and other illegal items in the background, used money and violence to get what he wants. And about a year ago he came to Wave Country and took control of it by the same mean. Now the only chance this country has is the bridge that I am building. Well, now you know, I guess you will quit the mission, and if you do I will definitely be killed, but don't worry, if I die my cute 10-year-old grandson will just cry for a few days and my daughter will live a sad life hating Konoha ninja forever. But it won't be your fault, Tazuna replied. Old man, there no needed to guilt trips us. I continuing this mission even if I have to do it by myself. I made a promise and I won't go back on it, said Naruto. What, Naruto, are you crazy? This is way out of our league. We have to turn back, it is too dangerous for us to continue, said Sakura. Naruto tilted his head and said, yeah, it is dangerous to continue, what you point? My point is that we can die, Yubaka, she replied. So, answered Naruto. So, how can dying not be a big deal for you? Are you suicidal, or are you that stupid? She responded. Dying is not a big deal for me because the day I became a ninja I knew that I will have to take a mission that might be my last, for that is the life of a ninja. Knowing full well of this, I accepted and continue to walk this path without regret because I am doing something worth dying for. Beside, there are other fate worse than death. For instance, living a life full of fear and hate, living a life where everyone you love is death because you are unable to save them, or living a life of loneliness. Compared those to death, death is a blessing rather than a curse. I will continue to do this mission with or without you because it is not only the right thing to do, but also I would rather die than regret living a life knowing full well that I could have saved a lot of innocent people but didn't, he stated. Well, it looked like Naruto wants to continue, so how about the rest of you? We decide by a majority vote? Kakashi responded. The words, "I said we continue," came from Sasuke. Sakura's heartfelt words, "If Sak-kun wants to continue, then I think we should go with what he said because he will protect me," earned her a whack from Naruto's wooden stick. No going fan. Girl, now tells us what you really think, said Naruto. Well, I think it is really dangerous to continue, but we are the only one that can help them, so we should continue, said Sakura. Look likes we are continuing this mission, but if it becomes too dangerous we will turn back, said Kakashi. Well, how about sending a message back to Konoha for some backup before we continue, Naruto replied. Kakashi said, that is a good idea, why didn't I come up with it? Because I am a ninja, and a ninja is a master of coming up with great idea, and since you didn't think of it, arrow. Kakashi. Sensei, that must mean you not much of a ninja that you thought you were, Naruto replied. With anime tears in her eyes, Kakashi remarked, that really hurt Naruto. Naruto answered, the truth hurts, arrow. Kakashi. Sensei, the truth hurts. Kakashi said to the small dog he had summoned, Kachiyose no Jutsu, summoning technique. Okay, Pakun. I have a message that I need you to send to the Hokage. Naruto pulled out a letter and said, wait, can he send this too? Kakashi questioned, what is it, Naruto? My will that stated who get my stuff and what they can do as a tribute to my memory, said him. So some big ass overkill of a prank in honor of you after your death? Kakashi responded. Yep, he said. Kakashi took the letter and handed it to Pakun, saying, know what your pranks are like. I really hope that you don't die anytime soon, or at least before me. Anyway, yeah, I can send it. Pakun replied, all right, I'll get this to him as soon as I can. Sakura inquired, did that dog just talk? All right, let's go now, Kakashi said. Kurama no Mon. Riberu 1 Rarisu, Gate of Kurama. Level 1 release, Naruto said, calling out Kurama in his tail chibi form, adding, okay, but since it will get more dangerous from here on out, I think we could use some extra pair of eyes, ears, and nose. As he emerged, Kurama declared, I am the Kyuubi no Kitsune, fear me. Naruto questioned, do you have to do that every time I call you out? No, but it's enjoyable, he said. Naruto muttered, and people say I'm crazy. Because you are. Now what do you want? Not that I don't mind getting out of your head from time to time, I mean it is pretty spacious in your mind, but I like some fresh air too, he replied. Well, first some mocking my intelligent, and second use your super sense as an extra pair of eyes, ears and nose to warn us if an enemy is nearby, said Naruto. Okay, but can you at least let me do it in a cooler form other than my chibi form, he said. No, you are okay as you are now, but if the enemy is stronger than we can handle, then I might give you a power-up, said Naruto. Fine, at least I get to get out more, he replied. Kakashi said, Naruto, are you sure this is a good idea? If fine, you will behave right, Kurama, or does Mugen need to teach you a lesion again and there the box of believe it, said Naruto. Yes, I will behave, and also what you are doing should be count as animal abuse, Kurama replied. Yeah, but you are more of a chakra being than an animal, said Naruto. But it's still cruel and unusual punishment, said he. Well, like me, you did a lot bad things in your past life to earn such misfortune, said Naruto. While a confused client and a cautious team of 7 people, excluding Naruto, continued their journey with Naruto, Kurama, Cloud, Tree, Makona, and Obito going unthinking, Kurama reflected, well, I did cause a lot of chaos and calamity along with destroying a few towns here and there before I was sealed. Returning to Konoha while his clone handled his paperwork, the Thread Hokage thought, Kakashi is right, Naruto's novel is as good as Icha series even without any smut. Speaking of Naruto, this is his first time out of the village and I wonder how he is doing right now. He tacked on, well, his first time out of the village willingly. Yeah, it didn't take long for him to grow on you, but if there anything to worry about it what he will do to any opponent that he might have to face, a clone replied. I fear for the people that become Naruto's enemies, for their well-being and their sanity, said a different clone. Right, I mean look what happened when he was on a sugar high and accidentally entered Konoha Strict Correctional Facility and TI headquarters, said the initial clone. Man, we got a lot of information out of those prisoners that we didn't have before that day, but after meeting Naruto in that stated they were never the same again, said the second clone. And on that day he ended up in many of the village's bingo books even before he became a ninja. I mean, how many people can do that? Said the third clone. Yep, he got a lot strange moniker, and it may not be a flea on sight, but he did get a don't bet on sight, said the initial clone. All I can hope for is that he didn't end up doing anything that will end up with me having to do more paperwork than need, like conquering some foreign land, said the second. Saying, hey, I received a message from Kakashi and Naruto's will. Pakun materialized before the Hokage. What happened to Naruto? The pallid Hokage inquired. Nothing, he is fine, he said to send it just in case, Pakun stated. As he read the letter, the Hokage thought, okay, that's good. Let's see what the message said. It looks like Team 7 ran into some trouble and wanted some backup. Wonder who to send. Now let's look at Naruto's will. Oh no, if this is Naruto's last request, I must send backup to make sure he doesn't die before me. If only the villagers know how creative and fearful his prank can be, they would be less likely to try to kill him, said the Hokage. As he and Team 10 entered, Asuma said, hey Dad, do you have any mission for us to do? The Hokage handed the will to his son and said, yes, I just got one right now, and it is of the utmost importance. Take a look at this. What it is? Inquired Asuma, but the Hokage said, it's Naruto's will. Naruto's will, exclaimed Asuma and 10th team. What happened? Inquired Asuma. Is he okay? Inquired Ino. Did he die? Inquired Choji. Shikamaru inquired, what troublesome thing happens to him? He fine, he just sends that just in case. What I want you look at is his last request, the Hokage replied. His last request? Oh no, this is worse than what he has planned in his last will, said Asuma. I know, and I plan to have that request rated and written down in our top secret dangerous battle strategy. What I want you and your team to do is back up Team 7 and make sure Naruto doesn't die before me, said the Hokage. If this is what he have planned for his last request, then I make sure he doesn't die before me, said Asuma. Ino replied, yes, I get to be with Sasuke-kun. Shikamaru questioned, what made you guys tense about Naruto's last request? His last request is for his ultimate prank to be pulled after his death in memory of him, said Asuma. Troublesome, if that what he wants, then he definitely not dying before me, said Shikamaru. Choji replied, yeah, we make sure he lives. Ino said, okay, what's the big deal here? Let's said the pranks Naruto pulls so far is nothing compared to what he can really do, said Shikamaru. Also, when you meet him, do evaluations to see if I should worry about any increased paperwork, said the Hokage. Okay Dad, team get pack and really to head out, said Asuma. Returning to Team 7, Achoo. I never get sick, so why am I sneezing so much today, said Naruto. I know idiots like you don't catch cold, maybe someone is talking about you behind your back, said Kurama. Naruto remarked, maybe. Stop calling me an idiot. Let me think about it. Ah no, considering that it took you a few seconds for you to notice that I insulted you, you deserve to be mocked, Kurama replied. Naruto said, Teme. Kurama said, Baka, Teme. Baka, Teme. Baka. Okay, you definitely have to admit it that Naruto and the Kyuubi arguing like a bunch of little brat is really a strange sight to see, Sakura replied. The Kyuubi? Inquired Tazuna. Nothing that you should worry about, Tazuna, and yeah Sakura, it is really weird, but we will eventually get used to it along with any strangeness that comes with Naruto, said Kakashi. Sasuke said, HN. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Naruto started to sing as they crossed the river. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. As Naruto stopped singing and started to hum the song, Sakura remarked, Naruto, please don't sing that song, it is annoying. Sasuke snarled, Dobi, as Naruto stopped humming and started to mumble the song. Naruto, did you remember to take your medication this morning? Replied Kakashi. Perhaps, he said. Naruto, exclaimed Kakashi. He said, okay, I forgot. Sakura questioned, medication, wait, Naruto is really insane. No, but he is diagnosis with a HOD. Naruto, please take them now, we don't need you to be all hyper. The last time that happened you trash an entire district and we ended up having to force feed you your medicine and then put you into a padded room until you calmed down, Kakashi responded. As they all saw the bridge under construction, Naruto remarked, fine, and by the way, cool bridge. Tazuna replied, yeah, that's my pride and joy. Naruto said, hey, could you make it orange? Orange? Inquired Tazuna. Yeah, orange, it is a warm color and it will make the bridge stand out, said Naruto. Naruto take you pill now you are beginning to speaking hyperspeed, said Kakashi. Okay. Naruto said, taking his medication and becoming silent. Kakashi sighed and said, we should now have a few hours of silence. Once they were on the other side, the ferryman said, this is as far as I can take you. Tazuna replied, thank you, all right, let's go, we're almost there. After a while, Naruto pauses to remark, there is a disturbance in the force. Kurama responded, yeah, I can feel someone watching us. He hurled a shuriken at the bush and exclaimed, there. When Kakashi checked the bush and noticed that Naruto had nearly struck a snow white rabbit with the shuriken, Sakura remarked, it's just a rabbit Yubaka. He called out his scythe and pulled out another shuriken, saying, we can prepare that season confused rabbit later for dinner since I am not allowed to have cute fluffy animal as pet anymore due to Project Cottontail. But right now I have to find where the enemy is, Mugen no Sora. Baka, there are no enemy here, stop trying to act cool, said Sakura. Tazuna responded, yeah, stop trying to scare us brat. Does the season confuse rabbits? Wait, Kakashi thought, that's a snow rabbit, Naruto, and it's only white in the winter, but it's spring now, so it's kept in a cage to use as a substitute, so the enemy is already here. Naruto threw another shuriken and exclaimed, there. He twisted a tag onto his kunai and threw it, causing it to explode in the shape of a lion head when it struck the tree. Damn, they dodge again, I have to try something new, he said. Naruto said, oops, that doesn't sound good especially coming from you, said Sasuke. Well, it wasn't supposed to explode, what I meant to do was release a paralyzing spore to bring down the enemy or at least weaken them. I guess I mistaken them for one of my custom explosive tags, said the man. Sasuke deadpanned, how many different dangerous seal tags did you make so far? A lot, he replied. Kakashi said, every get down, and everyone except Naruto ducked as a huge broadsword swung toward them. Using his scythe to deflect the sword into a nearby tree, Naruto did so out of instinct. As he prepared to approach the sword to retrieve it, Naruto remarked, man, that was close, I saw my life flash before me and I have to say my life really suck. Oh hey, look, a free sword. Naruto, why did you do that instead of dodging it? You could have gotten cut in half, replied Kakashi. Because I am a ninja and a ninja is a master of not dodging, and also if I dodge then I get the dread boot to the head, said the man. Boot to the head? Inquired Kakashi. Yeah, that what arrow Seishin used to do. He said, why dodge when you can block, which give you a chance to follow up with an attack? Naruto replied. You know I'm not him and dodging work well in this situation, said Kakashi. He said, yeah, sorry. The mist ninja with the bandaged face appeared on top of his sword and said, ah, Kakashi of the Sharingan, I can see why the demon brother were defeated so easily. It, murmured Naruto. The mist ninja remarked, ah, it appears that the brat has heard of me. Naruto exclaimed, it's hammer's time, and everyone started to perspire. Eye twitching, the mist ninja asked, what? Naruto thought, weird, for some reason I was compelled to say that. The statement, must be the pant that mummy face is wearing, was made by Makona in a serious manner. Cloud said, yep, mummy face wear some weird pant. Not only his pant but also his outfit, mummy face wear some strange outfit too, Tree continued. I know only mummy face there would be shitless in mist like this, I mean, is he a ninja or a male model? Said Naruto. The mist ninja said, eye twitching with a large checkmark, mummy face, stop calling me that, I have a name you know and it even in the bingo book too. Naruto said, I'm sorry, but it's not like we know who you are. It's not like we can say, hey look, Zabuza Momochi, demon of the hidden mist, who killed 100 of his classmates to earn that moniker, wield the Kabikirbocho, one of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, and now is a missing ninja of Kirigakure after his failed attempt to assassin. Zabuza said, his eyes twitching even more, I am Zabuza Momochi, demon of the hidden mist, you insolent brat. Really, I thought that Zabuza would have more of an impressive sword than that, said Naruto. Zabuza questioned, what the hell is wrong with my sword? Well, it looks like it can't cut through reinforced rice paper, he said. This is the Kabikirbocho, the decapitating carving knife, a giant butcher knife earning the title of Sever Sword, made to cut through flesh and bone. Cutting rice paper is the least of your worry, Zabuza stated. Reinforced rice paper, and you didn't said anything about it cutting through it, so it must be as weak as I think it is, he replied. Brat, I'm going to kill you, yelled Zabuza. Not without going through me. He may be an annoying brat, but I can't let him die before me, not with what he have planned for his last request, and also at my responsibility or something along that line, said Kakashi. Yeah, go arrow. Kakashi. Sensei, go beat him and his dumb vampire sword, said Naruto. Vampire sword? Inquired Kakashi. Yeah, the stupid sword keeps saying it want to drink my blood and stuff. Mugen want to cut it in half for saying such thing to me, said Naruto. As Team 7 formed up around Tazuna, Kakashi revealed his Sharingan and said, anyway, you guys surround and protect Tazuna. I will deal with Zabuza by myself. Zabuza Momochi, Demon of the Hidden Mist, Sweden. Kirigakure no Jutsu. Water style. Hiding in mist technique. Zabuza said as he vanished as the mist suddenly appeared and thickened. Well, let's see how copy ninja Kakashi, who is 1,000. Jutsu master, handles me. Zabuza said in a chilly voice, out of the 8 options, liver, lungs, spine, clavicle vein, neck vein, brain, kidneys, and heart. Which one should I target? You know a normal person have 2 lungs and 2 kidneys, so there are more than 8 choices, and since you are taking requests I pick my left kidneys since it been on bad side. My right side is my good side, especially when the light hit the right angle, said Naruto. Kakashi chastises Naruto, saying, please don't encourage the blood-crazed killer ninja. Zabuza growled, the words, brat, I teach you to fear me, intensifying his murderous intent. It feels like I'm going to die if I move, which is extremely deadly intent. Rising his kunai, Sasuke thought, the intensity of a Junin battle is like my life is being squeezed. I would rather die now and get it over with. Sasuke was startled out of his suicidal state by Naruto's statement, man, that's some killer intent at around a level 75, but my gut's killing intent is way stronger, right gut? Don't refer me to that, Bakakit, but yeah, my is way more intense, though I find insulting that he claim himself to be demon with that level of killing intent. I mean, even the weakest demon can put out a greater killing intent than that, Kurama replied. Kakashi turned to face them and grinned, saying, and don't worry, I'll protect you guys even if it kills me. I don't let my comrades die. That great and all, but arrow. Kakashi. Sensei, you should keep your eyes on the enemy, said Naruto. Kakashi thought, damn it, Naruto, you stole my thunder. Zabuza said, we'll see about that, as he moved into their attack formation. Then, as Kakashi rushes in to assist, Naruto shoves Tazuna and his teammate aside. Kakashi managed to deliver a deadly blow to Zabuza, but before Kakashi could stop him, Zabuza managed to cut off Naruto's right hand. No one was dealt a deathly blow. Kakashi exclaimed, Naruto, as he saw his pupil lose his hand and start to bleed. While Tree caused some sort of plant to grow and warp around Naruto's bleeding stump in order to treat his wound, Naruto remarked, it's okay. Tree can stop the bleeding, and I still have my left hand and am ambidexterity, so I still have one good hand on me, no pun intended. But arrow. Kakashi. Sensei, you should know that, Naruto started, but Kakashi was sliced in half by Zabuza, who appeared behind him. Naruto concluded that Zabuza is a water clone, as the sliced Kakashi turned to water and another appeared behind Zabuza, holding a kunai to his neck. As he reappeared behind Kakashi as the one he had at kunai point turned to water, Zabuza remarked, impressive, you copied my Mizu Bunshin no Jutsu, water clone technique, and used it to attract my attention while the real you hid in the mist. Nice plan, but you have to try harder than that to beat me. Zabuza attempted to cut Kakashi once more, but he ducked and was kicked into the river. Kakashi was imprisoned in a water sphere by Zabuza using the Suiro no Jutsu, water prison technique. Create a water clone, Zabuza said, now that I have you trapped here, I will deal with the brat Mizu Bunshin no Jutsu, water clone technique. Hee. Foolish brats, do you believe that wearing forehead protectors make you a real ninjas? But you know what, when you've hovered between life and death so many times that it doesn't faze you, you may be called a ninja. When you've become so deadly that your profile has been entered into my bingo book, then you may have earned the title ninja, said Zabuza. Naruto inquired, bingo book, which edition do you have? Zabuza inquired, what did you think of last year's Kirigakure edition? Naruto said, look for the name Uzumaki Naruto. Let's see Uzumaki Naruto. Ah, here is it. Rank, civilian. Moniker, Konoha Orange Little Devil, Demon Chibi, Naruto of the Kawaii Eye, Nose, Bleeder, Drunken Casanova. Bounty, 500,000 Ryo. Note, don't bet on sight and sugar intake level is 200 gram. What the hell is this? Asked Zabuza. That my bingo entry well last year, since my sugar intake level is 10 gram higher than before and I am a genin now, but I have no idea where the Drunken Casanova came from, said Naruto. Remember that one time you overheard someone saying something about how fun it is getting hammer and you want to see if it was true. After that you went and drank 10 bottles of sake, then woke up the next morning in a jail cell and didn't remember what you did last night. Well, you got that name during that incident, Kurama stated. Oh, answered Naruto. How the hell did you get your name in the bingo before you became a ninja? Replied Zabuza. It happened during one of the most crazy day that I ever have, which involved a long story that I don't have time to tell you right now, but the point is, since I'm in you bingo book means I am a ninja in your eyes, said Naruto. Wait, nose. Bleed, are you the kid that took down the Mizukachi Yagura with that one move, said Zabuza. Yeah, I remember that. It was during my time when I was travel with the circus I took him down along with entire member the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, even the female. Also there was someone there that looks a lot like you, only cooler, said Naruto. Brat, again, that was me because I was there. Wait, there was female in the group, said Zabuza. Yeah, the girly looking one. You probably didn't notice because you know you play for the other team. Not that I or anyone is judging, Naruto replied. As Zabuza's water clone kicked Naruto hard enough to knock off his forehead protectors, he said, Brat, you are so dead. Do you think someone as dumb as you who joke and play around think they earn the right to be a ninja? A ninja faces death from the day they walk that path, which a baka like you will never understand because I'm going to kill you slowly and painfully, so hopeful you understand the lesson in your next life. Guys, take Tazuna and run away. You have no chance of beating him as long as he's keeping me trapped inside this prison. He can't move. The water clone can't go very far from his real body, just run away now, said Kakashi. As he stood up, picked up his scythe, removed his severed hand, and drew some seals on it, Naruto declared, No, I won't let the very few people who care about me die without a fight, nor will I let this Tem get away with insulting me or the people who believe in me. No, don't, Naruto, you already lost one of your hand meanings. You can no longer do hand seal. Your only chance is to run away, Kakashi replied. As he threw his severed hand at Zabuza's water clone, which struck him in the face, he said, I don't need to do hand seal to perform ninjutsu and genjutsu, nor do I need both of my hands to fight him because I was cursed to be a weapon the day I was born, so I have everything I need to fight him. Pull Naruto's severed hand away from his face. You can still laugh and joke around, but you won't be doing it for long, the water clone said. Naruto said with a devilish grin as the Grim Reaper's body materialized behind him. The only reason that I laugh and joke around is because it's a habit I developed from having so many people trying to kill me most of my life. I've been at Death so much that we became good friends, and he likes when I deliver people to him, so let's go meet Death Mummy. Face. What the devil kind of genjutsu is this? It feels like Death has come down here and is pulling my soul. Zabuza wondered in terror. Why in the world does it feel like I'm staring at nothingness or the void when I stare into that hooded face? As Naruto's severed hand started to glow and Zabuza's clone exploded in a bright flash, he said, Also, you should be careful of what people hand you. He screamed, Nah. Ruto UZZ. Zoom. Maki, as he charged at the Zabuza's counterfeit. As the wind danced around Naruto in the shape of claws, he continued to charge at the water clone, saying, Futon. K's. Ju no Akari, wind style. Rage of the wind beast. As a claw. Like Mark slashes the ground behind him, the water clone dodges at the last second. With a deafening wind attack, Naruto destroyed the water clone and declared, Futon. K's. Ju Tobo, wind style. Wind beast howl. He tied the Hite.8 on his right shoulder with his mouth and one good hand, saying, Now that I got my Hite.8 back, we can work on freeing Arrow. Kakashi. Sensei, and then go back to kicking Mummy. Face ass. Now let's get wild. Okay, the last part was kind of lame, note to self. Work on my banter, he said. As a dozen water clones appeared, Zabuza remarked, Damn punks. I make sure you go down for good. Mizu Bunshin no Jutsu, water clone technique. What are you doing? Run away. Our duty is to protect Tazuna, did you forget that? Replied Kakashi. Well, the best way to protect Tazuna is to free you, don't you agree, old man? Replied Naruto. I the one who caused this, and I have no right to say what you can or can't do, so all I can do in the end is trust you guys to do whatever you can, said Tazuna. Sasuke said, Right, so Dobi, do you have a plan? Yes, do you remember that attack we make to take on multiply enemy? Well, I think it time to test it, then from there we improvised, said Naruto. You guys are nothing but a bunch of kids still going around, playing ninja. When I was your age, my hand were already soaked in blood, after all the blonde baka told you about my graduation exam where I killed 100 of my classmates. Zabuza said to everyone except Naruto. Well, when I was 6 I devoured countless peeps. Those poor little sugary marshmallow, they were so young and tasty, especially Peep Pep, you were my friend. Naruto said while weeping anime tears. Blonde, baka, brat, must, kill, will, die, Zabuza said, his teeth clenched. his eyes twitching wildly, and his tick mark so large it looked like it was about to burst as everyone stared at Naruto in perspiration. There's nothing you can do to make him fear you. After all this, Baka was able to weaponize cuteness and drive cold-blooded killer ninja tears at the sight of Orange. Kurama grumbled. Naruto remarked, "Yeah, good times, good time. I swear he'll perish," Zabuza snarled. Kurama sighed once more. They all said that, but it never ever happened. Naruto said, "Do it, Teme, let's get rid of the water clones." Kaiten. Hosenka no Jutsu. Fire style. Phoenix Sage Fire Technique. Sasuke uttered, launching a barrage of tiny flames. Futon. Sora no Tori no Mure. Wind style. Flock of sky birds, Naruto uttered, forming a wind-powered flock of birds. As the wind birds struck the tiny fireball, they ignited to become fire. Birds that bombed at the water clone. Naruto and Sasuke said, "Ka. Futon, Fenikusu wa Kanban o Mure." Fire. Wind style. Phoenix flock firebomb together. The clones were destroyed and exploded into a wall of steam as soon as they struck them. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Shadow clone technique. Futon. Kase. Ju no Akari. Wind style. Rage of the Wind Beast. Naruto uttered as his clones leapt out of the steam wall, each using a destructive wind move to attack the remaining water clone. Kage Shuriken no Jutsu. Sasuke exclaimed as he leapt toss his shuriken. After passing the combat clones, the shuriken made their way to the actual Zabuza. Zabuza remarked, "So you're aiming it at the real me, huh?" As he reached for the shuriken, he declared, "That won't work." Out of the first shuriken's shadow, another one emerges. "Another one in the shadow of the shuriken," said he. He jumped to avoid it and said, "Still not good enough." Naruto said, "How about this Kanai Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Kanai Shadow Clone Technique?" As he descended from the shuriken and landed on the water's surface. He then threw a kunai at Zabuza, which multiplied to 1,000, forcing him to remove his hand from the water prison and release Kakashi. "Damn you, brat," was Zabuza's statement as the free Kakashi moved in to stop him from attacking Naruto. Naruto uttered the words, "Mul Kurama," as a chibi fox materialized and each kunai exploded into a cloud of smoke. The Chibi Kurama army started to bite and claw Zabuza, negating the need for Kakashi to save Naruto. "Great plan, Naruto, and nice teamwork, but did you have to ruin my moment to be cool?" said Kakashi. Arrow. Kakashi. "Sensei, your coolness was ruined when you got caught in that stupid water prison in a really dumb way," said Naruto. Kakashi remarked, "You don't have to be cruel about it." Zabuza remarked, "Damn it, I just got, distracted. Hey, don't bite there," while Kurama began to beat him. Kakashi said, "All right, let me give this to you now." As several farm animals emerged from the brush surrounding them, Naruto remarked, "Okay, but in case you were stupid enough to get trapped again, I have this place surrounded." Zabuza asked, "A bunch of farm animals, what can they do?" "Not any farm animal but my exploding farm animal series," said Naruto. "Naruto, you know you have enough to level this entire place, right?" said Kakashi. Naruto replied, "Yep, it's to ensure he doesn't win." "Are you ever afraid that he might take you down with the enemy?" replied Zabuza. As they stared at one another while a Western gun duel song played in the background, Kakashi remarked, "Well, on one hand, he really is a big fan of explosive, but on the other hand, let's get back to our battle." Kakashi questioned, "Naruto, is the background music necessary?" "Sorry, but watching you guys face down in a staring constant is boring, and when I extreme bored to point dying from it, my Keke Genkai act up," said Naruto. "Keke Genkai?" inquired Zabuza. As they quickly execute 100 hand seals, Kakashi remarked, "There is nothing to be concerned about." Sweden. Suiryuden no Jutsu, water style. Water dragon bullet technique was uttered simultaneously by Kakashi and Zabuza, who created a water dragon that resembled a serpent and collided with one another to produce tidal waves. Sasuke grunted as the tidal waves struck. "Ga! Kya!" exclaimed Sakura. "Uwa!" exclaimed Tazani. As the tidal wave passed, Naruto yelled, "We!" and stood atop the water's surface. "This is more fun than the time we were at that water park in Kirigakure," Cloud commented. Tree remarked, "We ought to return there soon. Also, there's one in the city inside the subspace universe that is linked to you along with other amusement park," said Mikona. The statement, "That kid has problems," was deadpanned by Zabuza. Kakashi imitated Zabuza's movement and said, "Yeah, but none of the things we done so far help, so we just leave it as is." "My movements, he's totally," Zabuza pondered. Kakashi stated that he was reading them. Zabuza kept thinking, what Did he read my mind? Damn, that. You know how Freaky Eye is making me angry? Kakashi uttered those words. Zabuza remarked, you're just copying me. Together, Zabuza and Kakashi uttered the words, you can't beat you, Teme. As he and Kakashi resumed their hand. Seal, Zabuza uttered the words, damn it, I will shut your mouth forever. Zabuza thought, what is not possible? Is this one of his genjutsu? Zabuza's back slammed into a tree, and Kakashi pinned him with kunai as a huge surge of water hit him, dragging him to dry land. Sweden. Daibakufu no jutsu, water style. Great waterfall technique, Kakashi said. How are you able to predict the future? Zabuza inquired. Kakashi pulled out another kunai and said, yes, and you're going to die. Naruto threw a chakra knife at Zabuza, causing a seal to appear on him, and said, not before you do a little number for us. Naruto said, Seishin o Kawasu Mano. Hanmataimu, Spirit Breaker. Hammer time. While MC Hammers, you can't touch this, played in the background. Zabuza then unpinned himself and started dancing a well-known 90s dance from a different universe from the one Naruto is in. Kakashi inquired, did you have to do that? Yes, because humiliating the enemy before defeating them is my thing and I have an image to uphold, said Naruto. After 2 senbons pierced his neck, Zabuza's sentence was interrupted. Brat, I will. You're right, he. As he emerged, a mist hunter ninja declared, he did dead. As he went to check Zabuza's pulse, Kakashi remarked, he's really dead. Ah, why did you do that? He didn't do the finisher yet, said Naruto. Sorry, but it my job as Kirigakure's hunter.nin to track down and kill ninja like Zabuza, said the hunter.nin. While searching through Zabuza's pocket, Naruto remarked, yeah, that's what you do if you were a Kirigakure's hunter.nin, which you are not, Humsum Ryo, Kunai, solid or pill. What's up, Naruto? What do you mean that he's not Kirigakure's hunter.nin? Kakashi inquired. Naruto started, checking for loose change and the mask guy is not, but Team 10 interrupted. Asuma appeared with his team and said, hey Kakashi, we are the backup you sent for. We thought you were he from the chakra spike and from the look of things, it was some battle. Is anyone else going to show up? Seems like that everyone, said Naruto. We just faced Zabuza missing.nin of Kirigakure who just killed by the hunter.nin here, said Kakashi. Naruto pulled his scythe with the blade across his neck and remarked, he's not dead, but once I cut off his head he will be and also decrease the chance of him coming back as a zombie. The hunter.nin said, well, you don't have to do that, that's my job as Kirigakure's hunter.nin. Naruto pulled his scythe up and then brought it down to decapitate Zabuza, but he missed when the hunter.nin grabbed him and pulled him constantly. Yeah, sorry, you can't lie to me. When I can see through your soul I know you're a mummy. Face his friend anyway once I take care of him, Naruto said. So you were able to see through our trick. No matter, we just fall back for now but we'll meet again, the hunter.nin replied. No you don't, I won't let you, Naruto uttered as yellow chakra engulfed his entire body. In an instant, he vanished and then materialized beside the hunter.nin, knocking him back with a powerful blow from his fist using Zabuza. As the mirror appeared behind him and he and Zabuza entered it, the hunter.nin remarked, you're strong and fast, but I don't have time to deal with this now, so goodbye Makio Hyosho. Demonic mirroring ice crystals. Naruto charged at the mirror, hitting it with such force that it broke, but it was too late because they had already left. The words, damn it, were spoken by Naruto. Kakashi questioned, what's going on, Naruto? Oh, that hunter.nin was really working with Mummy Face and I tried to stop them but they got away, said Naruto. I can see that, but what I was talking about is you and the yellow chakra, said Kakashi. Oh, well, I was able to access my special chakra after I resolved my furry little issue. I enter this mode when I do. But since I haven't even been training with it or mastered it, this is currently one of my last options. I can only do this for a few minutes before the failsafe seal activates because of that. Naruto uttered those words before his yellow chakra vanished and he fell to the ground. Naruto, was what they all said. Don't worry, Baka. He just passed out from exhaustion. He's not dead. According to the Baka kit, he hasn't mastered it, so he can only use his special chakra for a few minutes before the failsafe seal activates and cuts it off. He passes out from exhaustion because using his special chakra drains his regular chakra as well. The failsafe is in place to prevent this from happening and to prevent him from dying. The time limit is so short because he hasn't mastered using it, which causes the drain rate to be much faster than it should be. He will awaken in roughly a day, so someone should now carry this Baka and let him find a place to rest, Kurama remarked. That good to know, but what and who are you, cute little fox, Ino replied. Kurama ticked off the statement, I am a cold-blooded killer, not cute. It's Naruto's own summon animal, isn't it? Kakashi uttered those words. May I get a personal summons for you? Shikamaru inquired. Kakashi pulled down his forehead protectors to cover his Sharingan eye and said, yes, anyway, we should get going now so we can find a place to let Naruto rest. Well, we almost to my house, so let's take him there, said Tazuna. All right, let's. Kakashi started, but he also collapsed. Guys, it looked like you have to carry me and Naruto there. My body won't work for a week or so due to the stress the Sharingan put on me, said Kakashi. I think I'm about to collapse too. Look like someone else has to also carry me there, said Shikamaru. Ino reprimanded, oh no you don't, you lazy bum. Troublesome, is how Shikamaru called it. Ino helped Sasuke and Sakura guard the client until we reach his home. Choji and Shikamaru carry Naruto, while I get Kakashi, Asuma says with a sigh as they leave. Omake, I believed it was a good idea at the time. Academy Days Naruto 101 Ways of Getting Detention. Numbers 11 to 20. The 11th largest bowl of ramen. Why in the world did you stockpile ramen in the school pour? Iruka inquired. Well, I was really hungry and didn't think an Ichiraku Naruto's special super size ramen was big enough to make me full, but a swimming pool size ramen might work, said Naruto. Iruka deadpanned, so you decided to fill the school pool with ramen? Yeah, I thought it was a good idea at that time, he replied. How in the world did you manage to fill the pool with ramen? Iruka inquired. Ichiraku, they helped me out. Now we hold the world record for the largest bowl of ramen, and with that done I will now dig in, said he. Iruka said, you have detention for this, Naruto. Worth it, he uttered after finishing all of the noodles and the broth. Did you just consume everything in less than a minute? Iruka inquired. Yes, and since I recorded that I also have the world record for eating the most ramen in the shortest amount of time, he replied. Your stomach is not human when it comes to ramen. Even the Akamichi clan can't do what you just did. Iruka was deadpanned. Indeed, Iruka, I was wondering why a ninja academy would have a swimming pool at all, he inquired. According to Iruka, for the elective course in water polo. We offer elective courses, right? He inquired. Yes, but for some reason no one ever taken them, Iruka replied. I don't remember you saying anything about them, he replied. Now that I think about, we might have forget to tell all of you about it, Iruka replied. He said, perhaps that's why no one took them. Iruka said, maybe. Number 12. Secret weapon for torture and interrogation. The fright. The horror. One of the inmates rocked back and forth. As Iruka put it, Naruto detention for a month. Naruto remarked, but he was an enemy prisoner. As the TI force dragged him away, the prisoner uttered the words, keep that monster away from me. You are being detained for being at the TI headquarters, not for what you did to the inmate. Why in the world did you come here? Iruka inquired. Well, after my sugar high incident, some of TI people thought I would fit in with the TI force, so at that time I thought it would be a good idea to intern for them, he explained. Breaking into TI headquarters and torturing a prison does not count as interning for the TI force, Iruka stated. It doesn't, he inquired. According to Iruka, no, it doesn't. However, that does not preclude you from coming here and lending us a hand. You get to do all the work without us having to handle the paperwork because you are not a member of the TI force, Ibiki stated. Please don't encourage him. He caused enough chaos and mayhem on his own that I don't need someone like you to encourage him to keep at it, Iruka replied. To Ibiki, Naruto whispers, I visit when I can. Good, and we won't let anyone know you here so you won't get into any trouble, Ibiki replied. Iruka said, I can hear you guys. Naruto crossed his finger and said, we're just kidding, right? Right, Ibiki replied, following suit. As he departed, Naruto remarked, well, I visit sometime next week. Naruto. Iruka shouted. The 13th Naruto theme song. Iruka was searching for the source of the cheerful, pleasant music that was playing in the background as Naruto entered the classroom and discovered that it was coming from Naruto. Naruto, why am I hearing music coming from you? Iruka inquired. Oh, depending on what I'm doing. I put a sophisticated seal on my clothing that plays background music. After you informed me of the elective classes available in the rooms for them, I started using the audio and visual room to create the sound and music. You're listening to my walking, travel, and good day music right now, but it's nothing in comparison to my theme song, Naruto remarked. Theme tune? Iruka inquired. Yeah, it's awesome and really kick-ass, he replied. What were you contemplating? Iruka inquired. Well, it was something I brought up in class one dull day. He remarked, I thought it was a good idea to do it at the time to gain some variety in my life. As powerful fighting music started to play in the background, Iruka said, "Naruto," while gazing at Naruto. "Iruka," Naruto uttered while the music persisted. Iruka uttered the word, "detention," while triumphant music played. "Why?" As defeated music played for him, Naruto inquired. "Because you didn't make a theme song for me," Iruka said, raising an eyebrow at Naruto as he heard background laughter. "I also make some background studio audience sound too," said Naruto. "Just take a seat and you will serve your detention after class," Iruka replied. "Okay," he said as he walked to his desk to the tune of a melancholy song. Fun with super glue at number 14, Naruto, do you ever consider your actions before taking them? Iruka let out a sigh. "Yes, and when I did this I thought it was a good idea," said Naruto. "In what way was this a smart idea?" Iruka inquired. "Well, I thought that if I created a good enough work of art that it would be enough to save the art program because ninja need more than the killing art in their life," said Naruto. "How in the hell is super gluing everything and everyone including yourself in a strange arrangement considered a work of art?" Iruka replied. Well, this piece is lifelike and kind of abstract," said Naruto. Iruka remarked, "Naruto, you have detention once we are free." An ABNU entered the classroom and said, "Okay, we're here to free you." His partner remarked, "But it is a shame to take down a great work of art like this. I know it is so abstract and the most lifelike piece I ever saw, when I first saw it." The second Anbu responded, "Yeah, and a bit post-modern too." Iruka deadpanned, "Can you be critical after you free us?" Both Anbu said, "Fine." Breaking into Anbu headquarters number 15. "Explain," Iruka said. "Well, after today's lecture about how ninjas needed to be stealthy, I thought it was a good idea to test my skill at stealth by breaking into the most secure place in Konoha," said Naruto. "So to do this you try to break into the Anbu headquarters," Iruka replied. "Yep," he said. Raising an eyebrow at his pupil, Iruka remarked, "As a pizza delivery boy." He replied, "Yes, who would suspect a pizza delivery boy?" "Oh, I don't know, maybe a village where there are no pizza chains within a mile of it," Iruka replied. "Now that I think about, we really should have in the village," he replied. The ANBUs all ate a piece of pizza and said, "Yeah." "Don't change the subject, Naruto, and since you broke into the Anbu headquarters you have detention," Iruka replied. One Anbu member remarked, "Yeah, that should show him for not having any Hawaiian-style topping." "That because I couldn't find any pineapple around here," said Naruto. Maybe I can find some on my next mission," he replied. They care more about pizza topping than the fact that an academy student was able to break into their own headquarters. "How the hell is this village still standing is a mystery to me," Iruka murmured. He said, "Hey, save some pepperoni for me." Halloween edition of number 16 breaking into Anbu headquarters. Iruka sighed, the Anbu headquarters again. Wearing a black hooded robe, holding his scythe, and sporting a skull mask on his head, Naruto declared, "I thought it was a good idea to have a Halloween party at the Anbu headquarters since everyone is already wearing their costume." "They are not wearing costume, they're wearing their standard Anbu uniform that all of them are required to wear," Iruka stated. "This is actually a costume. I usually wear a bear mask, but now I'm wearing a bird mask," the Anbu wearing the bird mask stated. The Anbu wearing a bear mask added, "And my regular mask is cat." The dog. Masked Anbu remarked, "We're all wearing a different mask than what we usually wear. Do any of you believe that donning a mask other than your typical mask qualifies as a costume?" Iruka inquired. They all said, "Yes." "Well, if you can't beat them, join them, and Naruto, you have detention again," Iruka replied. Number 17. Log.Moss, Christmas, edition of breaking into Anbu headquarters. "So you thought it would be a good idea at the time to break into the Anbu headquarters once more in order to hang Christmas decorations?" Iruka inquired. Naruto responded, "Of course not. You didn't hang these ornaments?" Iruka raised an eyebrow in question. "I did," he declared. Iruka asked, "Then why did you say you didn't?" "Since neither I nor anyone else here is Christian, I explained that I didn't put up any Christmas decorations because they weren't appropriate. We are ninja, and ninjas celebrate Log.Moss, so that's what I put up. It was a good idea at the time," he said. "Well, I am happy that you are getting into the Log.Moss spirit, but you will have detention for breakings into the Anbu headquarters again after the holidays," Iruka replied. Naruto said, "Thank you and happy Log.Moss, Iruka, sensei." Iruka said, "Merry Log.Moss too." Number 18. Valentine edition of breaking into Anbu headquarters. "I hate to ask, but I must. Why did you break into the Anbu headquarters for the 100th time, and why are you wearing that outfit, Naruto?" Iruka questioned his pupil, who was carrying a bag of letters, a bow, and arrows while sporting a diaper and a fake wing. Well, at that time I thought it was a good idea to make some extra money, said Naruto. Please explain, Iruka said. Some guy thought it would be romantic to have Cupid write a love letter to his girlfriend on Valentine's Day, but the girlfriend is an Anbu agent, so he had to pay someone who was willing to dress like this and gain access to the headquarters in order for that to happen. Ultimately, I met the job requirements, but after I completed it, the girlfriend raved about how romantic his boyfriend was for doing it. In the end, Naruto remarked, I have to deliver a lot of love letters everywhere, including the Anbu headquarters. Iruka remarked, wow, that must have been a tough day for you. According to Naruto, it was, and it will get harder because you have detention for breaking into the Anbu headquarters, Iruka stated. Man, I don't get a break, must learn about this union thing, said Naruto. Easter edition of number 19, breaking into Anbu headquarters. Why are you dressing up as the Easter bunny and breaking into the Anbu headquarters to distribute chocolate eggs, Naruto? I assumed you weren't a Christian, Iruka inquired. Iruka started to perspire when Naruto remarked, at the time I thought it was a good idea, and it was because now I all cute and fluffy. As for the chocolate eggs, I have a lot of them for reasons I don't know, so don't ask, and I decided to give them out. I have nowhere better to be, so I can be here. For this, I suppose I'm in detention, he said. Detention, yes, Iruka said. 20. What in the world were you thinking? What the hell were you thinking? Shouted Iruka. Naruto answered, at the time, I thought it was a good idea. How is it a good idea to cover everyone in the classroom with peanut butter and then let loose a group of untamed kung fu squirrels on them? Iruka remarked as she avoided a squirrel's kick. Well, now that I think about it, doesn't really seem like a good idea, said Naruto. You have to figure out that now, detention Naruto, and pray that you will learn not to do things like this, but something tell me you won't, Iruka replied. Yeah, Naruto replied, I probably won't. The dream world. Alright son, today is your first day attending the Ninja Academy. You are on your way to being a cool and kick-ass ninja like me, Minato told his son. I won't be a cool and kick-ass ninja like you. No, I will be a cooler and more kick-ass ninja than you. Then I will kick your butt so that I can take that hat from you and become the Hokage, Naruto told his dad. He heard his father say, really now? Pumping his fist into the air, he said, yeah. Kushina winked at his son and said, well, I hope you make some friends and find a girl to be your special someone. He told his mother, ew mom, girls have cootie. You didn't said that about a certain blue-haired brunette with lavender pearl's eyes that you like to make blush in many different ways, said his mother. He blushed and said, well, she's different. Well, I hope you figure out what make her so different soon, because I don't want to wait forever to be a grandmother, she replied. He shouted, Mom, don't worry son, your mom is just being a mother, you know that we love you, said Minato. As he held his son, Kushina remarked, yeah, we really love our Naru-chan. Naruto pouted as his parents laughed, saying, I love you guys too, but that doesn't mean that you can embarrass me in front of others. According to Minato, Naruto, Kushina uttered. Naruto, was the whisper Kakashi used as Naruto's eye opened and he looked up at the ceiling while tears streamed down his cheeks. Kakashi asked in a worried tone, Naruto, are you okay? Did you have a nightmare? As he wiped the tears from his face, Naruto remarked, no, it wasn't a nightmare. It was one of the happiest dreams I could ever have, but it was also an impossible dream, which is why I was sad. I dream a dream that can never happen. He looked around and said, so where are we? After you pass out and I collapse from exhaustion, everyone took us to Tazuna's house, and that where we are at right now, said Kakashi. Oh. Hey, this may sound strange, but for some strange reason everything seemed to be bigger than before, replied Naruto. Well, it might have something to do with the fact that you got smaller, said Kakashi. He inquired, what do you mean? As Naruto went to examine himself in the mirror, Kakashi remarked, I could tell you, or you could go to that mirror over there and see for yourself. He noticed that he had the ears of a fox, the feet of a little fox, and a bushy fox's tail. He was also chibi in appearance and size. Naruto exclaimed, sweet holy log, I'm a kami forsaken chibi Hanyu. Sasuke grinned as he entered the room and said, I suppose the Dobi is up and saw what happened to him. How the hell did this happen? Shinigami, come down here and tell me what the hell is going on, said Naruto. The Shinigami remarked, so you finally saw the after effect of overusing Kurama's chakra. Now tell me, Naruto snarled. Well, every time you overuse Kurama's chakra to the point where you active the failsafe, this side effect will occur. You will turn into this form for a certain period, About 3 to 4 days depend on how exhausted you are, then you will turn back to your original form. In this form everything will be pretty much the same and you still have the same power as your original form except you are smaller and can't use the henge to transform to your original form, said the Shinigami. Naruto questioned, couldn't you do something about this? He didn't look at him when he said, well, I could. You didn't add this effect to the new seal on purpose, did you? Replied Naruto. No, I didn't add this effect to the seal to get a date with a hot goddess who like cute chibi human, animal hybrid and wants to see you in this form, he replied. Naruto snarled, you curse this form on me for a date. As he disappears, he says, oh, look at the time I have to go, see you later. Naruto shouted, come back here and fix this, at him. Now you know how I feel when you summon me as a chibi, said Kurama. No, how can I, when you are a chibi fox and I'm a chibi Hanyu, they're different here, said Naruto. Kurama said, you are the king of Baka. Sasuke grinned and said, I guess it sucked to be you, Dobi. No, actually it sucked to be you. Now did you forget that your two biggest fan girls are sleeping under the same roof as you? You have to sleep with one eye open or else you will be raped by them. Good luck with that, Naruto said with a scowl. Naruto, stop scaring Sasuke and Sasuke panic about your innocent later. I need you to gather everyone here so we can plan on what to do next, said Kakashi. In wave, somewhere the hunter.nin, Haku, remarked, so you've come back to life already. Damn, not only did I get beaten up by Kakashi but also mauled by a chibi fox, insulted and forced to do a strange dance by some genin brat, said Zabuza. He was able to discover that I was working with you. Also when he was cloaked in that strange chakra it seems that his strength and speed increase greatly, Haku stated. Strange chakra, huh? The brat is stronger than he seems and it seems that he processed Kekkei Genkai too. I wonder what it is, we have to be careful of him, said Zabuza. Haku questioned, I will, but next will you be alright? I'll beat them all the next time, Zabuza declared. Returning to Tazuna's residence, Sasuke held Naruto in front of his two favorite fangirls and uttered the words, protect me meat shield. The words, Sasuke with a cute accessory oh my Kami, made Ino squeal with joy. Sakura went into fangirl mode and exclaimed, Sasuke is so hot, with hearts in her eyes. Naruto pouted as he struck Ino and Sakura with a wooden stick, saying, you have to use me as a human shield now, there will be Yoi Dushinji of you with me as a Hanyu and it is entirely your fault. Additionally, I am a living breathing human being, not an item and no going fan. Girl. As he embraced Naruto tightly, Ino remarked, kawaii aren't the most adorable thing ever, trying to act tough and all. Naruto's eye twitched as he said, unhand me girl. Okay, stop harassing Naruto and let's get this meeting started, said Kakashi. Before that the Hokage wanted me to ask Naruto the standard Fallout question. So Naruto have conquered any sovereign lands? Replied Asuma. No, he replied. Did you destroy any sovereign land? No. Did you test any of your custom explosive tags with 100 km of Konoha? No. Did you kill, attack or prank any political leader or politically important people? No. Did you do anything that will make the Hokage have to deal with additional paperwork? I don't think so, Asuma said. All right, Kakashi, we can resume the meeting. Sasuke questioned, what the hell was that about? The Hokage want to be forewarned about any additional paperwork that Naruto might cause, Asuma stated. He not worries about the action that causes the paperwork, asked Sakura. No, because we can't stop Naruto from doing it even if we wanted to, replied Asuma. Anyways, our mission now is for both Team 7 and 10 to protect Tazuna and his family from Gadu. As you saw, Zabuza was defeated as Team 10 just arrived to back us up, however he is still alive, Kakashi stated. What? Exclaimed Sakura, Sasuke, and Team 10. It's true, you can tell by how his soul still hasn't departed from his body, said Naruto. Or you can tell by how the hunter.nin use Senbon, which have a low killing probability but useful in putting someone in a momentary death state, on Zabuza, or the fact that he didn't disposed of the body on sight, Kakashi stated. Naruto said, you can rely on your science and logic, but I think I will stick with my mystical power, which caused Kakashi to slap him on the back of the head. Kakashi slapped Naruto once more and said, force him, and oh, this is for stealing my thunder during the battle. Anyway, with the chance of facing Zabuza or a new stronger hired shinobi, you guys will receive training to prepare for what to come, Kakashi stated. So you going to teach us how to blackmail the majority councils and the remaining two unholy miserable old people known as Homura and Kaharu to buy us cool kick-ass ninja gear, said Naruto. Naruto, you know I teach you guys more than ninja politics, said Kakashi. True, other than ninja politic, teamwork, Basic ninja workout, skill and strategy. You also taught us how to read and walk at the same time, Naruto laughed. Sasuke continued, you also taught us how to giggle like a pervert. And how to make excuses for being late, Sakura added. Sasuke goes on to say, how to avoid being arrested for exposing minors to smut. Avoid an anger mob from beating you to death for exposing minor to smut, said Sakura. And how to scare minor with smut, is Naruto's final statement. Okay, I get it, I could have try harder in your training, but did you all have to gang up on me? I bet no other Jonin Sensei have to deal with this. Kakashi sighed. Nope, only you Arrow. Kakashi Sensei are special enough get to be the Jonin Sensei of homicidal emo with an unhealthy relationship with his brother, a fan girl with some serious need of anger management, and a hyperactive borderline insane or sane, depend on how you look at it, brat who share a special bond with an incarnation of a natural disaster, said Naruto. With anime tears in her eyes, Kakashi remarked, of all the students I could have gotten, I ended up with you three. Naruto remarked, look on the bright side. What the bright side? Deadpanned Kakashi. You only have to be our sensei until we become Chunin or until you die, said Naruto. So my choices are death or training you guys to be the elite. I kind of like living right now, so I guess I have to help all of you to become Chunin as fast as I can. Since you know how to do the basic chakra exercise, I will teach you some useful jutsu I know, said Kakashi. My former sensei already taught me the peek at the bathhouse jutsu already, a jutsu I won't ever use, said Naruto. Kakashi denied, I don't know that jutsu, and I'm not going to teach you that. You know that I know that you do know that jutsu, said Naruto. You know that I can make you wait a long time before teaching you anything, said Kakashi. And you know that I can blackmail you if you do that, said Naruto. Damn you right. Anyways, I'm going to teach you all jutsus that are based on your elemental affinity, Kakashi replied. Element affinity, that pretty advanced stuff. I thought that you would teach them something along the line of chakra control like water walking exercise, Asuma replied. Kakashi remarked, I would have if they didn't already know it. I thought they said you hardly taught them anything? Asked Asuma. Well, Kakashi uttered. Sakura remarked, we learned it from Naruto. Ah, that seemed most likely. Well, I guess I will teach my team the water walking exercise once they finish the tree climbing one first. It been weeks and they still haven't gotten it down, Asuma replied. Ino questioned Sakura, you really got that exercise down already? Yeah, and the water walking exercise too. With how hard Naruto is making us train, we could do those things in our sleep, said Sakura. Ino thought, damn it, I can't believe Forehead is outperforming me. I've got to work harder or I'll lose to her and Sasuke-kun won't notice me. Asuma thought, it appears that Ino is more motivated because of her rivalry with Sakura. Now, only if I can figure out a way to motivate the other two. Kakashi inquired, so now that we know the plan, any question? I have one. Where did you get that beanie, Forehead? Ino responded. Sakura said, from Naruto. Why do you ask? Why? Because that beanie is an exclusive Storm's Eye beanie from their winter flower line. With 3 beautiful 5-petal Sakura designs on it along with environment blending seal, you look good wearing it anywhere, and temperature control seals keep you cool while looking cool. There are only 20 of them in the world and I can't believe I see one firsthand, Ino continued. Sakura looked at the emblem of the Uzumaki spiral with a blue slit eye in the middle and remarked, oh my Kami, I can't believe I missed the logo. I thought it was a cheap knockoff. And Sasuke-kun is wear a rare stylist Storm's Eye goggle from their Blazing Summer line. It has multi-vision function, made with near indestructible glass and metal, with cool blue flame running on the edge of the frame and band. There are only 10 of those goggle in the world, Ino stated. The flames make you look like you were going fast, said Naruto. Okay, what is this Storm's Eye and why are the two of you making a big deal about this? Kakashi inquired. Storm's Eye does not only created the best ninjas' clothes and gears but also the most fashionable. You can find something to make you a deathly killer with a killer look. All the ninjas shop from them, and if you are wearing their top line you become the envy of Ninja World. So now tell me how on earth Team 7 is able to get their hand on some of Storm's Eye exclusive line products, Ino asked. That is a good question, and now that I think about it, Naruto, your entire outfit is complete set from the Fallen Autumn line. There are only 5 of that set in the world. How are you able to get them, let alone afford it? Replied Sakura. While drinking some green tea and projecting a serene aura, Naruto stated calmly, because I am the owner and creator of Storm's Eye Industry. I also design many of the exclusive top items. What? Exclaimed Sakura and Ino. As everyone except Tree, Cloud, Makona, Obito, Shikamaru, and Choji stared at him, Naruto remarked, Like said, I own Storm's Eye Industry along with Happy Wacky Snack, Nintech Electronic and Home Appliance, Toy World and some hot spring, hotel, and restaurant chain in Konoha and varies location in the Element Country. Ino said, he joking right? Nope, me and Choji own a share in each of the company that Naruto own, said Shikamaru. Kakashi inquired, when did you get into business, Naruto? Well, I wasn't able to buy any toy, treat, or anything fun when I was younger because the majority of the store in Konoha refuses to sell them to me, so I used that money to invest in some small project that grew into successful businesses. Naruto ruefully recalls his youth. Forget about those idiots, Naruto. Because of their stupidity, not only did you become more successful than them but also contribute to a quarter of the income for Konoha. Right now you have Konoha eating out of your hand, Choji said while patting Naruto on the back. Thank Choji, and you right. Now if the council ever wanted to threaten me, I can pull this on them and it will be a big surprise since hardly anyone but my closest friend and those I consider family know about this, said Naruto. Sasuke deadpanned, Dobi, I can't believe you are a successful businessman. So I guess you don't want to know how I became your brother long-distance best friend or how he became Captain Pocky, the mascot of Happy Wacky Snack, said Naruto. Sasuke's eye twitched as he said, I don't know what is worse, me taking this long to figure out how much of a weakness Pocky is to my brother or him being called Captain Pocky. I kind of interested in how you became friend with an S-rank missing ninja and ended up making him the mascot of your snacking industry, said Kakashi. Well, I remember it like it was yesterday when I was young and without a care in the world, began Naruto. No jutsu flashback. The attractive secretary, Miss Secretary, declared, here are the reports for the annual revenue for Happy Wacky Snack. Naruto sat in his large, cozy CEO chair at his desk and said, thank you, Miss Secretary. Flashback. No jutsu break. Wait, you have a sexy secretary named Miss Secretary? Replied Kakashi. Well, it not her real name, it is just what she wants to be called, said Naruto. Kakashi repeated, and you have her wear that tight-fitting suit? Know it what she want to wear, and there really no dress code for my company yet, said Naruto. With anime tears in her eyes, Kakashi questioned, why don't I have a hot secretary who wears tight, fitting suits? Naruto deadpanned, because you are not a billionaire and the owner of a multinational corporation. No fair, I want a sexy secretary who wear tight-fitting suit to take advantage of, Kakashi stated. I don't take advantage of any of my employer. As for Miss Secretary, I hired her because she was the most qualified applicant. By work for me, she was able to pay for her college tuition through the grant I offer, and now she managing the Land of Bean Jam branch of Happy Wacky Snack. Now if you are done asking me question, let me get back to my story, said Naruto. Flashback without jutsu. From the look of things it has been good year, but we still need to find someone to be our Pocky sampler, said Naruto. Miss Secretary questioned, didn't you mention that someone in Anbu was Pocky fanatic? Oh yeah, Uchiha Itachi, but he is missing ninja now. However, I think I can get his mailing address. I will work on that while you gather some info on our evil world domination snack food competitor that we need to save the world from, said Naruto. Miss Secretary replied, yes, sir. Tower of Hokage. Hey Oji-san, can you give me the mailing address of one missing ninja named Uchiha Itachi? I need to send a letter to ask him to be a Pocky sampler for my company, Naruto said as he entered the room. The Hokage put on his paperwork and ignored everyone else around him. Sure, Naruto. Also, can you send some report I have for him and instruction to continue to spy on Akatsuki for us? I would do it myself, but I'm really swamped with paperwork right now. The ease with which Naruto persuaded the Hokage to divulge such information and choose to keep the incident a secret made the Anbu guard there perspire. Thank Gigi, I hope he accept, if not at least he get to try a sample of our Pocky, said Naruto. 1 week later. Hey Oji-san, he accept. Now not only does Happy Wacky Snack have an official Pocky sampler, but Itachi also said he will be my long-distance best friend for giving him such a wonderful offer, Naruto said as he entered. The Hokage said, forcing his paperwork to pay attention to Naruto's words, that nice Naruto. I am happy for you. Now if only I can get this dreaded paperwork done with so I go get some ramen with you, then today would be a great day for the both of us. The Anbu guards once again choose to overlook the situation and agree to not only invest in Naruto's snack company but also purchase snacks from them, because if he is fortunate enough to make it this far, he will succeed in it. Yes, that would be really great, but I know that we all have our obligation to fulfill. Anyway, I hope that our company will be really successful with our newest edition, Naruto said. 1 more week later. Hey Gigi, ever since Itachi became Captain Pocky and we release Captain Pocky's collection card with a package of our products, Happy Wacky Snack is now the leader in the world snacking industry. Plus we also defeated the evil Bittersweet Corporation. However, the evil Rotten Teeth Inc. has raised to power, but we will defeat them like Bittersweet. Anyway, I have to go back and plan an attack against them now, Naruto stated as he left. The Hokage said, "Okay, wait Itachi, Evil Bittersweet Corporation, Captain Pocky? On second thought, it probably better if I don't get involved. Now paperwork you will die." The Anbu guards were content to snack on happy wacky snack products because their business investment had been successful, and they didn't care about the conflict between good and evil in the snack food industry. Flashback ends without jutsu. Naruto concluded his story by saying, "And that's how I got a missing ninja to become my official Pocky sampler and long-distance best friend." Sasuke's eye twitched more wildly than before as he said, "It was that easy to find out where he was." "What about him becoming your snack food company mascot? You mention it but didn't explain it in an in-depth detail," said Kakashi. Naruto began, "Well, about that, it all started with no jutsu flashback. Naruto hung upside down over a tank full of sharks that were shooting laser beams when he said, "Mr. Bittersweet, you won't get away with this." Mr. Bittersweet, a bald, evil-looking, hook-handed man wearing a monocle, said, "Ah, you are not in any position to make threats now, are you, Mr. Uzumaki?" "Really now? Well, I think," Naruto started, but a ringing noise cut him off. He released one arm to answer his communication devices and said, "Sorry, but I have to get this." Mr. Bittersweet remarked, "Oh, come on, you have to do this now. I was having my evil villain moment." "Well, unlike you, I am a man of many talents and I have better things to do with my time than hang out with someone who doesn't have a life," said Naruto. "According to Mr. Bittersweet, I really do have a life." Naruto Uzumaki is answering his phone, which he received from a reversed engineer he found in CNSLTAU. "And yet you are the one who is trying to take over the world through snack goods. Now if you don't mind, us adult have to do adult work." "Ah, Naruto, is me Miss Secretary. I am calling because I recently got report of bandits and cannon fodder henchmen attacking our Pocky shipment," she responded. Naruto uttered the words, "Cannon fodder henchmen, Bittersweet Uteme." "Ah yes, I have my cannon fodder henchmen and few hired bandits to sabotage your profitable popular Pocky shipment, and there's nothing you can do about it because you about to die, Mr. Uzumaki," evilly replied Mr. Bittersweet. "You were saying," Naruto remarked, managing to free himself while simultaneously eliminating all of the henchmen and feeding them to the laser-bearing shark. Mr. Bittersweet inquired, "What? When? How did you get free?" "A good spy, ninja in the making, philanthropist never reveal his secrets," said Naruto. Mr. Bittersweet looks around and discovers a note for him that reads, "Well, you may have freed yourself, but you won't escape from. Where the hell did he go?" "Salutations, Mr. Bittersweet. I chose to leave while you were preoccupied because I didn't want to stay and listen to your pointless tirade. Love, Uzumaki Naruto. P.S. Just so you know, I'm going to blow this place up to heaven." As the bomb that was scattered throughout the compound detonated, Mr. Bittersweet uttered the words, "Oh bugger, curse you Uzumaki." Outside, as the compound erupted into a ball of fire, Naruto said, "Miss Secretary, don't worry about the Pocky shipment. I have the man for the job." He then walked away slowly and epically. Headquarters of Akatsuki. As Itachi opens the package and letter that Naruto sent him, he asks himself, "Why did Naruto send me this costume?" "Greetings, Itachi. Our Pocky shipment has been attacked by bandits and cannon fodder henchmen sent by Mr. Bittersweet of the Bittersweet Corporation. Since you are a missing ninja, I decided to send you the best man for the job to stop them. I also gave you a disguise to keep the hunter ninja off your back. From your Pocky provider and long-distance best friend, Uzumaki Naruto. In addition, I sent your partner Kisame a costume and the key to the air.to.land.to watership, or ALW ship for short, so that he could navigate it." Itachi said, "Those fiends won't get away with it, I will make sure of it," and started putting the costume on. At a shipment facility in Pocky, one of the cannon fodder henchmen said, "All right, let's blow this place up." Itachi, dressed as a pirate with a trench coat, a feather captain hat, an eye patch, and a cutlass aimed at cannon fodder henchmen, remarked, "Not so fast, you vile fiend," on top of the ALW ship in sailboat mode. Kisame was standing next to him, his head sticking out of his mouth while wearing a plush shark costume. One of them exclaimed, "Who the hell are you guys?" Another person questioned, "How the hell can that ship move on land?" One henchman agreed with the other when he said, "They look like the missing ninja Itachi Uchiha and Kisame Hoshigaki, but they can't be because Itachi is not a pirate and Kisame may look like a shark but doesn't wear a shark plush outfit." Itachi, who is now Captain Pocky, declared, "I am Captain Pocky and this is my first mate Sharky. We are here in the name of Pocky to stop you fiends." He then dramatically pulled out a Pocky and ate it. "I mean Captain Pocky, why are we here helping the Kyuubi Jinchuriki's company? Aren't we supposed to capture him sometime soon? Kisame responded. Sharky, you know that your favorite seafood flavored chip, Seafood Paradise chip, are made by Happy Wacky Snack, which also market the best Pocky ever, which are being destroyed by these cannon fodder henchmen. So if this continue, Happy Wacky Snack will go out of business and there will be no more Happy Wacky Snacks Pocky or Seafood Paradise chip, said Captain Pocky. As Sharky went into a blood frenzy and started to bite and chop down the cannon fodder henchmen, he said, those fiends, I would let that happen. As pirate battle music played, Captain Pocky swung down from the ship to use his cutlass to slay the cannon fodder henchmen. Yeah, we won't let them destroy our precious Pocky, he said. Flashback ends without jutsu. A few months later, the cannon fodder henchman problem was dealt with, and afterward Captain Pocky and Sharky began to pose for our trading cards that come along with each package of the food snack product that we sell. Since the trading cards cause our snack to increase in sale, especially in the females and kids who like comic hero demography, we decide to release a new card each year for collectors, Naruto concluded. Those trading cards are really cool. Look, I have one where Captain Pocky is surfing on a sea turtle's back, Shoji replied. Captain Pocky, Sharky, trading cards, sea turtle, Sasuke said, his eyes still twitching wildly, but his mouth was also foaming. Ignoring Sasuke's statement, Kakashi questioned, so you are saying that you are not only a ninja of Konoha but also philanthropist and part-time spy that fight evil corporations? Sasuke, I think you should have that foaming at the mouth checkout, and Kakashi, ask me no question and I will tell you no lie, said Naruto. So not only are you rich but also the owner of my favorite clothing retailer stores who can get me free sample from Storm's Eye. Hey, have I ever tell you how cute your whisker mark are? Naruto.kun, Ino said as he approached him. Sakura yelled, hey Ino.pig, don't make advances on my teammate. Ino moved an inch closer as Sakura looked dejected at what she had done in the past and said, why can't I? He not taken beside I just healing his heart that you broke back when we were academy students? I got over that a long time ago. If she didn't want to be my friend back then that her problem, but if you don't mind could you not mention it again, said Naruto. Sakura, perplexed, said, wait, friend? You want to be only friend? Well, yes, friend. Did you think I was trying to win your heart or something? Replied Naruto. All of the genin there said, yes, Naruto remarked, wow, you guys have some weird thoughts. But you were blushing a lot and always said nice thing about me, plus you added Chan at the end of my name back then, said Sakura. Well, that because I was really nervous due to the fact that I never have a friend before through. If you did spit on my offer it might have developed into a crush, but now we never know. Also, what wrong with attaching Chan to a girl's name? I do it all the time even if they look at me strangely when I do, said Naruto. Kakashi muttered to himself, well, I could tell him, but it might be more entertaining to not. You no longer use it for my name, Sakura muttered. As Sakura lowered her head, Naruto remarked, well, you were mean to me too, and I thought that calling you Haruno.san was a good way to address you when you asked me to do that favor for you. In an attempt to divert the conversation and woo Naruto, Ino said, anyway, I'm not mean and I like it when you call me Ino-chan. Naruto walked away after saying, look, Ino-chan, you're not my type and there's someone else that I am interested in. Ino said, I don't mind sharing, as Kakashi laughed as if he were reading one of his Icha novels. Naruto pointed to a child who had entered the room and said, look, a distraction. When everyone had turned away, he quickly moved away. Inari, come and said hello to everyone. Everyone, this is my grandson Inari, said Tazuna. They will die, so there's no point, Inari remarked. Naruto nodded wisely as his sensei and teammate gave him a look that said, you have one to talk. Yes, everything that lives will die in the end. That's very philosophical, but it's a strange way to start a conversation. Inari goes on, there is no way you can win against Gato. Well, it a good thing that we here to kill him instead of play card games with him. It the duty of hero who will become a Hokage someday like me to deal with guy like Gato, said Naruto. What are you, stupid or something? There's no such thing as a hero, Inari replied. Nope, like I said, I am hero who will one day become a Hokage. I'm also a ninja, philanthropist and part-time spy that fight evil corporations, said Naruto. Inari went to his room and said, I'm going to look at the ocean from my room. If you guys don't want to die, you should leave. I apologize, Tazuna said. Naruto mockingly remarked, that poor kid, he more angst than Teme here. Dobi, snarled Sasuke. Teme, exclaimed Naruto. Ino said, creeping closer to Naruto, so Naruto, where were you before we were distracted? Naruto remarked, you know Ino-chan, you have the most striking blue eyes I ever saw. This made Ino flush and put her hand in her cheek as she looked down. As Naruto abruptly vanished, Ino remarked, "Oh Naruto-kun, you kidder, huh, where did he go?" Asuma remarked, "He escaped when you were looking away." The note from Naruto responded to Shikamaru's question, "Damn, why didn't I think of that when she was in her bossy mode?" By saying, "Because I am a ninja and a ninja is a master of dealing with the lady. You on the other hand are not ninja enough to think of such thing." "Damn it Naruto, come back here and steal this fan, girl from me," said Sasuke. Ino, who was now creeping up on Sasuke, said, "Oh Sasuke-kun, you don't have to worry about losing me, I can always be yours or Naruto's mistress." Sasuke said, I noticed that your hair is very beautiful," which made Ino blush and turn away once more. As Sasuke vanished, Ino remarked, "Oh Sasuke-kun, damn it, it happened again." Up the stairs, "Dad," Inari burst into tears. "What hope he has, he lost it on the day that I die. I pray that you can do something about it, until then my soul can't move on from this plane of existence," Kaiza said while standing outside Inari's bedroom. Naruto walked out of the room, only to meet Sasuke at the stairs. "I promise I will and I keep my promise, so don't worry, I will do everything that I can do to get back his hope even if it mean I have to beat it into him," he said. With fear in his eyes, Sasuke said, "Dobi, you have to help me. I don't want to be raped while I'm asleep." "Calm down Teme, you can sleep in the tent with the rest of the guys and I can active the barrier to keep your fan girls from taking your innocent," said Naruto. "Can I buy one from you in case I have to go on a mission and you not there for me to use your super anti-fan girl tent?" replied Sasuke. "Yes, you can buy one from me and it not a super anti-fan girl tent, it a standard mobile home tent set that have built-in barrier seal along with other feature," said Naruto. "Well, I don't care what it called as long as it keeps them away," Sasuke replied. The following day Sakura said, "Where were you last night, Sasuke-kun? I didn't see you in your room when I went to check up on you." As they head into the forest to train, Sasuke feels a chill. Ino approached Naruto and remarked, "Yeah, now that I think about it, none of your guys were in your room." Naruto released a little killing intent when he said, "Ino-chan, please stop trying to seduce or I might have to tie you to a tree, and no, I am not asking if you are into bondage in a roundabout way." This caused her to back off a little. Ino whispered, "I just want some free clothes from Storm's Eye. I can't give out free clothes for you because you will take everything on the line and I will end up bankrupt. However, I can give you a lifetime discount and put you on our exclusive mailing list, announce when our new products come out and deliver free ticket for our major events," said Naruto. "Deal?" Ino said, reaching for Sasuke's hand. "Damn it, would it kill you to take her away from me?" Sasuke replied. "Like I said, as the village pariah I don't get fan girls," said Naruto. "What is he talking about? Doesn't he know that he have one of the biggest fan clubs second to Sasuke and it growing?" Choji replied. Shikamaru responded, "No, I told him once, and he thought it was a joke." Ino said, "Anyway, where were you guys?" Naruto remarked, "We were all camped out in my tent." "What? How comes?" inquired Sakura. "It has a roof window with a great view of the night sky and an entertainment system with the greatest sounding speakers," said Naruto. "It has a mini fridge stock with near limitless foods," Choji stated. "It has the most comfortable futon that you can't help but fall asleep when you lay down on it," said Shikamaru. Sasuke pointed to Ino and Sakura and remarked, "It protected me from you monsters." "Why did you tell us about the really cool tent?" inquired Asuma and Kakashi. Naruto remarked, "Because you didn't ask me. According to Ino and Sakura, can we join you guys?" "No, rape Teme on your own time, beside it not something we want to see," said Naruto. Together, Ino and Sakura exclaimed, "We are not going to rape him, we're going, hee." "Right so Arrow. Kakashi. Sensei, what are going to do first?" Naruto responded. As the paper crinkled between his fingers, Kakashi remarked, "You three are going to take these chakra papers and channel chakra in them to see your element affinity like this. As you can see the paper wrinkle for me, so I am lightning type. Now if your paper burn, your affinity is fire, cut as wind, crumble earth and damp for water," he stated. "And while Team 7 is doing that, Team 10 will continue on chakra exercise," said Asuma. "Alright, you guys get started so we can see what nature affinity you have, and Naruto, since it seems that you can do jutsu without hand seal, I guess we can find a way around you being one-handed," said Kakashi. "Oh right, it been about a day since I lost it, I think I should be okay now. So Tree.kun, can you do the honor and remove the plant cast?" said Naruto. As his once severe hands plant like cast came off to reveal a new, functional non-sever hand, Tree said, "Yes, Naruto. Sama." Everyone there gaped at Naruto as he flexed his hand and said, "Ah, as good as new." According to Asuma, how we all saw it got cut off. Did you forget about my Kitsune no Iyashi, Fox healing, and it regenerated property? Combine it with Tree.kun healing ability I able to get most body part like finger, feet or whole arms back after losing it. I don't know about organ though, but I am in no way willing to see either if it is possible to grow them back, said Naruto. Okay, now that we don't have worry about Naruto condition because he can grow spare body parts, Kakashi said. Naruto deadpanned, you know, I'm still a Chibi Hanyu, and I will be for a few more days. Beside that fact that he's still Chibi Hanyu for a few days, let's get our training started by find what your element affinity is, said Kakashi. Naruto uttered the words, that weird, as his paper broke in two, one half crumbling and the other becoming wet. A stem emerged from the paper, and the other half gaped at him. As his paper only split in half, Naruto remarked, "Oh, I know. Hey Tree.kun, Cloud.kun. Could you guys off my shoulder for a moment? I think you guys are interfering with the paper. Ah, now it works." So when you link with your familiar with the Shinigami no Okuramono, gift of the death god, not only do you get their ability, you get their element affinity, it seems, Kakashi stated. Yeah, it seems like it. Now that I think about it, water and earth jutsu are easy to use when linking with Tree.kun, said Naruto. Kakashi remarked, you never noticed before? Not really, I was more concerned with the jutsu working than anything, said Naruto. Kakashi remarked, point, let's see what element you two are. As he crinkled and then burned, Sasuke remarked, look like I got fire and lightning. Sakura uttered the words, water and earth for me, as the majority of her paper became wet and the remainder crumbled. Well, it looked like all of you have more than one elements, said Kakashi. Correction, I have multiply elements conditionally, said Naruto. True, but the point I am making here is that you have a secondary element to fall back if your opponent use an element that is to a disadvantage toward yours, said Kakashi. Sakura inquired, what do you mean, sensei? Each element is weak toward one element while at the same time stronger than another. Fire, for example, is strong against wind but weak against water, while wind is strong against lighting and weak against fire. Lighting strong against earth but weak against wind. Earth strong against water, weak against lighting, and water is strong against fire and weak against earth. Now that we know what element you have, we work on how to control them, Kakashi said. Sasuke declared, I already know how to use fire jutsu. Yes, I know most Uchiha learn some fire jutsu at a young age, but by learning how to control your nature affinity, not only can you use the jutsu better but also be able to create your own jutsu, Kakashi stated. Arrow. Kakashi. Sensei is right, I was able to create all my wind jutsu through nature transformation exercise like leaf cutting exercise, Naruto replied. Kakashi questioned, you learned that exercise already, who taught you that? Cloud.kun, since he is a wind elemental he know lot of wind control exercises. Currently he been teaching me how to cut rock with my palm and foot, said Naruto. Well, since you know it, would you mind show your teammate what they most likely be doing, Kakashi replied. Sure. Okay, my affinity is wind, which good for brute force and cutting or slashing damage. The cutting leaf exercise is a good way for me to train, Naruto said as cut a leaf in half between his palms. Right, since leaves are similar to the chakra papers that was used to determine your element, is a good place to start. Sasuke, since already good at fire jutsu, I recommend that start with the leaf burning exercise, and after you burn 5 leaf to ashes, move to your training your lighting affinity by crinkling 5 leaves. As for Sakura, I recommended that you do water dew exercise first, which draws the moisture from the air onto the leaf, since it seemed that your main element is water. Once you gather enough water to fill this small cup, move on to earth by crumbling 5 leaves to dust. Naruto, since you already good with wind, I want you to do what Sakura is doing without the help of Tree.san to develop a secondary and possible a third affinity. Once you get past this, I give some jutsu related to your element, Kakashi replied. Naruto said, so you know some wind jutsu, huh? Well, actually that the only element that I not really good at. I do have a few scroll on some wind jutsu, but I think Asuma here can help you in that department. Through I might be able to help you with more wind control exercise to better you wind jutsu. Also, you mentioned that you were close to complete the Rasengan, so can you show me how far you got? Replied Kakashi. Sure, but because I still haven't find a way to deal with the backlash yet, it only safe for me to use it as little as possible. And are you sure Asuma can help me? Replied Naruto. Sure, if you can get Choji and Shikamaru to finish their chakra exercise, Asuma replied. Good luck with that, no matter how much I boss them they won't do what I want them to do, Ino replied. I know, hey Choji, if you finish the tree walking exercise I will give 50 bags of the limited edition barbecue chicken flavor nin. chips that Happy Wacky Snack makes, and if you finish the water walking exercise you get 50 bags of the limited edition teriyaki flavor nin chips. And Shikamaru, you know that the faster you finish the exercise the more time you have to relax and do nothing but look at clouds, said Naruto. Shoji said, getting pumped, really alright, must finish for the yummy nin chips, and started to put in more effort. Shikamaru started to work more effectively and was now nearly at the top of the tree when he said, well, if that's the case, I better get this done with. I can't believe this, you were able to motivate them, said Asuma. It not that hard if you understand them. Positive reinforcement work well with Shoji, so if you promise him treat for his accomplish he would work hard for them. As for Shikamaru, he will work hard to not work hard. Oh, also Shikamaru already mastered tree walking exercise and Shoji is not that far off from mastering since they train with me from time to time, said Naruto. What? Exclaimed Asuma and Ino. Shikamaru remarked, damn it, Naruto, did you have to tell them? Yes, because now that they know you know more there less thing for you to learn, meaning more time for you to do what you want, said Naruto. Shikamaru remarked, good point, how come I didn't think of that? Naruto answered, because you were too busy sleeping. Shikamaru remarked, well, that has to be it. Naruto, are there any more teaching tip you can give me for these two? If you do, I teach you as many wind technique that I can, said Asuma. Naruto said, deal. Several hours later. Okay Naruto. Sama, all thing that living like plants, animals and even humans will one day die and decay, returning nutrient to the world, tree stated. Thank for the lesson in the circle of life, but thinking of such thing is kind of morbid, said Naruto. That not the point here, the point is that you are forcing the leaf to decay in order for it to become dirt or earth. Like the purpose of the dew leaf exercise that you completed, it is to draw the water in the air when you not near any body of water. The purpose of this exercise is to draws the earth in all its forms around you. So forces and you will eventually get it, tree stated. According to Naruto, I think I got it, as the leaf he was holding turned to dust. Good job Naruto. Sama, I knew you can do it, said Tree. Kakashi looks at his students, who are surrounded by either damp and crumbling leaves or burn and crinkling leaves, and says, yes, good work team, look like I can start teaching you all some jutsu tomorrow. Sakura inquired, so what jutsu do we get sensei? Well, for you Sakura, I will teach you a few circa rank water and earth jutsu. A defense, short, mid, and long-range jutsu for each element. For Sasuke, since you know a lot of fire jutsu for Uchiha library, I will teach you more lighting jutsu. You also got a handle of channel fire through your Chikudo, now we work with lighting and be able to switch between the two fast in battle. As for Naruto, well I guess we can, Kakashi responded. Actually arrow. Kakashi. Sensei, there this wind jutsu that I am working on and I want to complete it, so I thought that I work on that and you can get me some pointer on it. Naruto interrupts to clarify. That fine with me, and I kind of curious to see what you working on, but anyway let call it a day and work on them tomorrow. Before we go Naruto, you said you going to show us how far you got to completing the Rasengan, so let's see it before we go back, Kakashi replied. Asuma followed up with Team 10, saying, yeah, let's see how great this jutsu is. Naruto made 2 Kage Bunshin and said, okay, but you better stand back. Kakashi asked, Kage Bunshin? Naruto remarked, it's all part of the process, as one clone shaped the chakra to resemble a Fuma shuriken with a sphere in the middle, while the other added the wind natured chakra, which made a loud screech that sounded like a bell. As everyone watched in wonder, Naruto uttered the words, Futon. Rasen shuriken, and slammed it into the boulder, destroying it and leaving a huge crater in its wake. Kakashi observed Naruto's arm shaking violently and remarked, that's definitely an S rank. Let me see your arm, Naruto. As Kakashi performed a diagnosis on his arm, Naruto remarked, now you see why I want to make it a mid to long distance attack. It's okay right now so long as I don't use it too much to cause permanent damage. Naruto, until you able to do make it a mid to long distance attack, I ask you to never use it unless you have no other choice, Kakashi stated. What? Why not? It looks like an incredible jutsu, how come he can't use whenever you want? Sasuke inquired. The attack is very devastating, creating countless microscopic wind blade that destroy the body at a cellular level that can damage the chakra circulatory system, which current medical ninjutsu can't fix. However, when using at close range it also damage the user, meaning it does the same damage to Naruto's arm, Kakashi stated. While others were shocked by the jutsu's consequences, Naruto stated, and if I keep this up my arm will be damaged beyond repair to the point that I will lose my arm and wouldn't be able to do jutsu anymore. Even my Kitsune no Iyashi, fox healing, couldn't do anything about it because it relied on the chakra circulatory system to work. The statement, All that power for such a price, how troublesome, was made by Shikamaru. Alright, let head back before it get dark. And Naruto, it is good to see that you are training hard to be a great shinobi, but remember that you don't need to do it until you reach your breaking point, Kakashi said while ruffling Naruto's. The words, "I know," came from Naruto, the Zabuza hideout. Some demon you are, getting defeated by a bunch of brat. So what do you have to say about that? Gato replied. Gato gestured to Zabuza and said, "Hey, answer me." As his bodyguards drew their swords to save their boss, Haku grabbed Gato's hand and broke it, saying, "Don't you dare touch Zabuza Sama with your filthy hand." Haku appeared between them, removing their sword and pointing back at them, saying, "You don't want to piss me off right now." Gato and his bodyguard departed after saying, "Fail again and it will cost you." Zabuza remarked, "Haku, you didn't have to do that. I know we have to be patient. Once we deal with the bridge builder we can deal with Gato," Haku stated. The following day in his normal form, Naruto exclaimed, "Finally free at last, free at last. I am a real boy again. I am a human, I am me and not a kami-forsaken chibi." Okay, we get it, you're happy that you are not a chibi anymore, but can you shut up for a minute so we know what we are doing for today training? Sasuke replied. Now that I have everyone attention, let's get started. Sakura, the two jutsu that you are starting with are Doden, Doheki, Earth Style, Mud Wall, and Suiten. Baborishirudo, Water Style, Bubble Shield, Basic Defense Jutsu. Good start for supporter type like you. Sasuke, you will work with channeling lighting through your Chikudo, then works on switching between fire and lighting instantly. Afterward work on channeling both elements. As for Naruto, show us what you working so I can give you some hint, said Kakashi. Naruto uttered the words, "Right," as he exuded chakra from every bodily part, causing the wind to swirl around him and lift him off the ground. Flying, wasn't that what you were working on before we did the bell test? Asked Sasuke. Yes, but flying is just a side benefit of this technique that I am working on. Use your Sharingan to see what I am really doing, said Naruto. I still don't know if I should be glad that I unlock all Tritomo of the Sharingan, fully maturing it from the crazy spar we did, or murder you for almost killing me multiply in that spar, Sasuke said as he switched on his Sharingan. Kakashi inquired, "What do you see, Sasuke?" It seemed like the chakra around him is breathing in and out of his body. From what I can tell, he creating a current system of chakra around his body, and he is floating by controlling the wind around him to lift him up, said Sasuke. As the wind around them picked up, Naruto said, "Let me show you the potential of this jutsu." He then punched a nearby boulder, causing an explosive dust explosion upon impact. Once it was clear, they noticed a hole in the boulder that appeared to have been drilled through. "I'm guessing that the little gust of wind has something to do with what just happened," said Kakashi. Yeah, before the Dobi punched the rock, the current system around him began to draw the surrounding air and pull it toward his fist. When he hit the boulder, he released all the wind, natured chakra energy that was gathered, said Sasuke. The purpose of this jutsu is to control and bend the flow of the air in the environment around me to the point that I can cloak myself in an armor of wind, fly, enhance my futon, wind style, jutsu, or generate weapon of wind. This jutsu, as Cloud stated, who is also the one that inspired and helped me created it. It will help me understand the very essence of the wind element, and I will come close to being one with the air around us, said Naruto. The statement, that jutsu seems to use a lot of chakra, was made by Kakashi. It costs way less than half of what it takes to make one shadow clone, but you have to constantly have it on, does drain a lot out of you, especially when you are on the offensive with it, said Naruto. As he wiped a tear from his eye, Kakashi remarked, "Well, based on the chakra cost, its capability, and power, I said this low A rank jutsu. 12 years old and my little Genin is already creating his very first A rank jutsu. I'm so proud. Please tell me you aren't one of those ninja dads that cheer for their kid loudly to kick the other one's ass," deadpanned Naruto. "Hey, is it possible to use an element other wind for this jutsu?" asked Sasuke. "Yes, it is, but I only use wind because that is my main element," said Naruto. It will take time to reach your monster-sized chakra reserve, so I can't have an armor of fire or lighting anytime soon, but it is possible to get a part of it like a fire or lighting gauntlet. This has a lot of possible, so can you teach me it? Asked Sasuke. Well, once I master it I can give you a scroll on exercises and methods enable for me to do this jutsu, however for the element aspect of it you are on your own, Naruto replied. That fine with me, it might help me come up with some stuff on my own if I do it by myself, said Sasuke. Are you sure you are okay with giving your jutsu that you created to Sasuke? Not that there anything wrong with it, but I thought you want to keep as one of your own personal technique for yourself? Kakashi responded. Well, I'm not really giving it to him, just the process and ideas that helped me create it, the jutsu, and beside exchange ideas is a good way to make friend. Not that Teme here will admit it to it, Naruto replied. I said that you were somewhat tolerable to be around when you are not in one of you insane states, said Sasuke. See what I mean anyway, this also helps me form allies that I need when I have to deal with polities, said Naruto. Oh yeah, we still have to deal with the remaining 2 members of the League of Unholy Miserable Old People known as Homura and Kaharu. Couldn't we just kill them and be done with it? Asked Sasuke. No, it won't be any fun if they die too soon, beside we are not done with torturing them yet, said Naruto. Okay, ignoring your murder plot, have you come up with a name for your new jutsu? Kakashi inquired. Yes, in the memory of my father-owned special jutsu I decide to call it Hiko Fujin no Jutsu. Flying Wind God Technique. And the name work because I can actually fly, said Naruto. Kakashi ruffled Naruto's hair and remarked, it's a good name for it and your father would be proud of it too. Naruto attempted to turn in midair but was sent flying in the direction of a tree, saying, well, the only problem I have with it is this. Still have trouble controlling how much wind power I should be output, so this doesn't happen, so I need more on wind control exercises, said Naruto. Well, I know a few like the rock and waterfall cutting exercises, but since you are working on control the wind around your body, I recommend you do them with your hand first then your feet. For the waterfall cutting exercise, I suggest once you are able to do it with your hand, work on walking up the waterfall with chakra, then try cutting it with your feet. This way you also get more control on your chakra along with nature transformation, Kakashi said. As he and his group started training, Naruto declared, okay, I'll start by cutting rock in half. Omake numbers 21 to 30 of Academy Days Naruto 101 Ways to Get Detention. I want to see what would happen. Number 21. Vinegar and baking soda mix well outside the academy, which is currently flooded with a foaming substance, Iruka said. Naruto, I know this is definitely your fault, so explain why did you do this and what I am giving you detention for? Well, considering what happened when you mix baking soda and vinegar, I wanted to see what happened when you do it on a bigger scale, replied Naruto. So you decide to dump a buttload of vinegar and baking soda into the classroom and end up blowing up the school, Iruka replied. The good news was no one got hurt because I choose to do it on the weekend where no one was inside except for Mizuki for reason unknown who in the hospital for nearly drowning in the mixture, but I don't like him so it doesn't matter, he stated. The bunny mask Anbu stated. In addition, the reaction was fizzing rather than explosive. That talk sound like the work of chemistry, which is blasphemy because we do not learn such thing in ninja science, said Naruto. You haven't learned about chemistry because you don't learn about it until next term, Naruto, Iruka replied. Really? Yes, next term I get to play with dangerous and deadly chemical of all kind, laughed Naruto. Iruka remarked, I feel uneasy about next term. The bunny, Anbu, declared, and I will go warn the Hokage about it. Number 22. Make a style statement with the bacon boxer. As a yelling Mizuki ran past him, followed by a group of ravenousness dogs, Iruka questioned, Naruto, do you have anything to do with the fact that Mizuki is being chased by a pack of ravenousness dogs? It might have something to do with the fact that he is wearing bacon boxer, which he does not know about since I genjutsu them to look like regular boxer, said Naruto. Iruka questioned, why would you do that? You mean beside the fact that I hate him and keep getting a bad guy vibe from that Teme? Asked the man. Yes, Iruka replied. Well, I also wanted to see how long he can run from a pack of ravenousness dogs, said the man. Mizuki yells, holy Kami, one of them bit my butt, from afar. And from the look of thing not very long, he replied. Did you also release those ravenousness dogs at him? Iruka responded. Mizuki cried out in a high-pitched voice, Mama, they bit Minnie. Mizuki. We have a man down. Send in the medic. Nope, I only release half of those ravenousness dogs at him. I don't know where the other half comes from, he replied. Iruka said, that's not the point here. Naruto inquired, so weekend detention or weekday detention? Weekday detention, I need a break from you from time to time, Iruka replied. Catapulting perverts, number 23 Naruto yelled from the bushes, come on, go get you smut, you perverted. Iruka questioned, Naruto, what are you doing in the bushes? Shish, be very, very quiet, I'm hunting perverts, he replied. What now? Inquired Iruka. As he and Iruka watched, Naruto remarked, Shish, just watch and you see what happened. At the center of an X painted on the ground, they witnessed a sliver-haired ninja walk to retrieve an Icha Paradise book. After he finished, the X-painted platform launched him across the village. Naruto exclaimed, pumping his fist in the air, yes, it worked. Naruto. Sighed Iruka. Ha-oh, I just want to see if there a stupid pervert out there stupid enough to fall for a trap likes that one, said the man. Ever though that person deserve that you still have detention for what you did, Iruka replied. Deserve to be catapulted for being stupid enough to fall for the trap or for being a perverted? Asked the man. Both, Iruka replied. All right, but I really hope I kill him, Naruto uttered. Iruka said, I sure he fine, not realizing how mistaken he was. That individual, who was Kakashi, was ultimately thrown into a kunoichi, filled hot spring. He never learned the dangers of being a pervert because they beat him so severely after they discovered who he was and what he was holding that he forgot about that day. Mime in the invisible box. Number 24 is a mime hammered on the wall of a glass box, Naruto remarked. Well, not much has changed except that I can now see the actually invisible box, which is contradictory in and of itself. Better stick with saying it is a glass box. Naruto? Iruka inquired in a very anxious tone. Naruto said, look at the glass box. Oh, Iruka. Sensei, I was just wondering what a mime would do in an actual invisible box, so I found one and put him in there. As the mime started to fall to the ground, Iruka remarked, I think the mime is suffocating inside there. As the mime fell to the ground, Naruto remarked, might have to do with not pulling any air hole for him. Naruto, he going to die if you don't set him free, Iruka replied. I do not advocate mime violence. Naruto remarked, well, then there will be one less mime in the world. As you know, mime are the nature enemy of us ninja, also they're evil. Please, Naruto, release him, Iruka uttered. Fine, but why does no one believe me when I say mimes are evil? I mean they are silent and deadly like us ninja, but those black and white face paints are the sign of evil, Naruto said as he tore open the glass box. The mime gasped in the air and then said, Mahaha, now that I am free you will feel the wraith of the League of Evil Mime as I will do evil thing to you because we mime are evil. The words, hey you talk, came from Naruto. As he fell to his death, the mime uttered, oh no. A mime is forbidden to speak, if they do they will die. I'm dying. So want to go blow up some evil mime before I have to sever the detention for this? Asked Naruto. Iruka replied, sure, let go. Rocket power chair number 25. Naruto yells to Mizuki as he soars through the air, I hate you Mizuki, you stole my rocket power chair and one chance to fly to space UTEME. Someone get me down, was Mizuki's cry. Iruka said, Naruto, tell me what happened. Well, I wanted to see how high I can fly on my rocket power chair until Mizuki Teme stole it, said he. Iruka sighed and said, Naruto detention. What, why Mizuki is the one that stole the chair by pushing the button on the chair that ignite the rockets, even when I put up a sign that state not to sit on it or push the button, said Naruto. Iruka raised an eyebrow and said, really? Well, if I put up a sign that said, don't sit down, and, don't push the button, people will do the opposite of what it says, so I put a sign that said, please sit down, and, please push the button. Does that get me out detention? Asked Naruto. No, and what more, you get an extra day of detention for it, Iruka replied. Raider of the Lost Scroll, number 26, Naruto, why are there peoples with foam coming out their mouth litter around a box with a sign that next to it that said, super. Secret information of Konoha here, Iruka inquired. Well, I wanted to see how many people would come if I pass out flyer that stated that there is a box that contains super. Secret information of Konoha that will be placed out in the open. So I did that and soon a lot of foreign ninja came and opened the box. Once they did they began to foam at the mouth and later pass out soon after, said the man. Iruak had questioned, Naruto, what is in the box? It contains a seal the force the person who opened it to see one of the most horrifying memory that I ever saw that involved one of my senpai who dressed in a green jumpsuit and his sensei also in a green jumpsuit embracing in a manly hug. I was able to survive experiencing it because my mind exists on the borderline of sanity and insanity, said Naruto. Naruto, you have detention for bring about this unholy artifact, Iruka replied. Number 27. The nightmare in which you stand in your underwear in front of everyone. In front of the class, Naruto said, okay, my report on the art of taijutsu, as his male classmates laughed at him. The females were either blushing, laughing, or fainting. Hinata was among those who fainted, and Iruka was flinching. Naruto, where are your article of clothing other than your underwear? Iruka responded. At home, he stated. Why? Inquired Iruka. Well, I was really nervous about speaking in front of the class to the point that every day since then I keep having the dream where you are standing in front of the class in your underwear. Well, I decide to face my fear by do the presentation in my underwear and see what the big deal was. Now that I did it I don't know what I was afraid of, said Naruto. Naruto detention and put on some clothes before people start to think that you are an exhibitionist, Iruka murmured. Number 28. The negative effects of underage drinking. I do not advocate for underage drinking. Naruto, why are you in jail again, and why does your breath smell of alcohol? Also, why are there a bunch of kunoichis and women outside trying to kidnap you and yelling for the right to bear your children? Iruka inquired. I don't know. All that I do remember is that I drink a bunch of sake last night because someone said getting drunk is fun, and then the next I remember is waking up in a jail cell with a major hangover. Kiss mark all over my face. My clothes torn and fruity taste in my mouth with the taste of alcohol, he said while massaging his forehead. I don't know what happened, but I know you did something stupid that earned you the detention that you are getting right now, Iruka responded. The bunny masked Anbu abruptly appeared and said, also, we are required to put out a red alert for every time you decide to go out to drink. Naruto questioned, you appear at random because it's enjoyable, right? According to the bunny Anbu, yeah, kind of. Why is there a red alert for Naruto when goes out drinking? Iruka inquired. Because he got his name in the bingo book and now a bunch of kunoichis and women is out to kidnap him and ravish him due to his drunken escapade. Anbu, the bunny, replied. Okay, next time you go out drinking I'm coming with you, Iruka replied. Me too, said the bunny Anbu. Number 29. Until someone becomes their own grandfather, time and space are all fun and games. While the other students moved as far away from the portal that was emitting a lot of electrical discharge, Iruka pointed to it and asked, Naruto, what is that? Being the only person still seated, Naruto uttered the words, that Iruka sensei is a tear in the space time continuum, as though they were commonplace. Explain why there is a tear in the space time continuum in my classroom, Iruka replied. Well, I wanted to see if I can travel through time, so I began to mess with the fabric of reality with my special seal and end up accidentally causing a rip in time and space, said the man. As the bright pillar of light exploded from the portal, Iruka said, Naruto, you of all people should never play with the fabric of reality. If the world doesn't end, you will serve detention for this. A baby Tyrannosaurus Rex then stood where the portal had been. Naruto remarked, a dinosaur kickass, I so keep as my pet. No, exclaimed Iruka and every mortal and immortal being who knew how terrible this decision would be. Thus, with a pop, the T-Rex was sent back to its origins in order for the universe to correct itself. Naruto sulked, I wanted a pet dinosaur. Iruka remarked, something aren't meant to be. Well, I can create another tear in the space time continuum and hopeful get a pet dragon this time, he replied. No, Naruto, mess with time and space is dangerous, you could end up becoming my grandfather, Iruka replied. Don't you mean becoming your own grandfather? Replied the man. No, if you did end up becoming your own grandfather that would explain a lot actually, however, if you ever end up as my grandfather it will cause a trauma that will take years of therapy to deal with, Iruka replied. The words, hey, I not that bad, I would be a good grandfather to my grandchildren, right Hinata? That Naruto said to her made her imagine that he was the father of many adorable and content children and that he would grow old and become a grandfather. This in turn made her imagine that she was the mother of Naruto's children, which made her face flush and faint. Wow, the idea of me becoming such an awesome grandfather causes her to pass out from the awesomeness, said Naruto. Naruto, I pray for your descendant and hope that my prayers are answered because they need it, Iruka replied. Saturday, number 30. What are you doing here? It's Saturday and you don't have class today, Iruka responded. I wanted to see what it is like to come to class on the weekend and I got to said it's really boring, he stated. Iruka deadpanned, of course it is, you baka, there nothing for you to do here, he said, so how about you? Why are you here? In response, Iruka said, I left something behind. Oh, I see, so what will today lecture be about? Asked the professor. I just going to ignore that fact that you want to learn for right and tell you just to go home now and deal with the detail of your detention on Monday, Iruka replied. He questioned, do I have to? Iruka uttered, Naruto, just go.
That's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this great story. See you in the next one.